if YouTube is going to cooperate with situations. All right, I see green. I see stream health. I am assuming finally 30 minutes late, and we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 128. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm very about our special guests, and we've got Shawn Layden departure, the state of Sony, PlayStation Now price drop, and Destiny 2 Shadowkeep launch to discuss, so we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord who I had the pleasure of reconnecting with through good friend to the realm, Lord Nintendo Guru. Aside from leading a PlayStation-centric podcast, this Lord is the essence of a true gamer, a beacon of positivity, and along with Lord Who Dat Ninja, utilize his platform to bring all gamers together, regardless of their console preference. Introducing the creator and host of the BadBit Games YouTube channel and PlayStation Trophy Room podcast. Await no longer, because Sony greatness and the birthday boy has arrived. Live from Jersey and making his debut into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord Joe, a.k.a. Mr. BadBit. How you doing, sir?
Man, that's the greatest intro I've ever heard. I need to bring you around everywhere I go. You know, like I'm entering class and you're just there, like the Lord of. I need that in my life.
Lord, what's going on, man?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. So it's my birthday this weekend. Woo! This is the icing on the birthday cake. I've been excited since you asked for me to be on here, and what a better week than this week, man! Like we got some news to talk about. I'm super excited.
We got news to talk about.
Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Man, I'm 28, man.
Ooh,
it's over.
I
remember the
they were so young. So young.
28 is so fun. I'm so fond of 28.
You're addicts soon, you too, right?
Yeah, actually, December I'll be 28.
Oh, look at that! It was a wonderful year. It was a vintage year.
No more young move for you after that. Anyway, good to have you in the realm, man. Long overdue. We had a lot of fun over there at the trophy room, and like I said, we're gonna have some fun, man.
Yeah, man. I can't wait.
No doubt. And of course, this guest of the round table needs no introduction and has been a supporter of the ILP from the very beginning. Not only is this Lord the epitome of detailed Destiny analysis, but with his smooth, calm demeanor, he easily teaches all newcomers to the game as the modern-day Bob Ross of Destiny. Introducing the creator and host of the Ebontis Twitch and YouTube channels. Fellow co-host with yours truly to the best Destiny podcast in the game, The Last Word. And our favorite Shattered Throne soloist, always cooking something hot by the campfire. Live from Texas, the cheetah, making his return into the realm of the Lords. My bro, Lord Ebontis. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, sir. It has been a while, but it is an honor to be back. Thank you guys for having me back on the show. Just spent about 12 hours in the raid yesterday, peaked at Vex Offensive. So a lot of stuff to talk about for Vex and for Destiny and also for PlayStation. So good place to be on. So thank you for the honor once again. I appreciate it.
This is like Last Word 2.0 right now. You know what I'm saying? We chilling right now.
No, but we're not roasting marshmallows today, baby. Today we're roasting Sony butts.
He's got the Shadowkeep shirt. He's ready. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's go. Flex on him. No doubt. You already know. And of course, we have the four horsemen of gaming, those original lords of the realm here at the round table. Hold on. Dizzy with the $5 super chat. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, you know what that is. That's my man's right there.
Oh, my Lord. Let's go, King. Might be the last super chat from me for a while. I hope I've inspired others to take up the mantle and fight the fight for Saul.
Yes. Beautiful, Dizzy.
Oh, my God.
We love you, brother, man. Keep your chin up, man. You know that.
Spirit's good. So we got the four horsemen of gaming. My co-host with the co-most. My brother from another mother. The difficult game conqueror. Lord of reviews. And the how of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict. How you doing, sir? Uh-oh.
He's in
All
the
right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just not used to using this laptop for this podcast, so like all the settings are all messed up.
Okay.
But what's going on, you guys? I'm definitely awake.
Mhm.
I actually could, because of our technical difficulties, I went ahead and jumped in the shower, and I'm wide awake.
Glad to have you, brother. We was looking forward to getting you back in the realm, of course. Going to talk some good talk today. A lot of stuff going
And
on.
did you guys ever notice, like, Cognito's favorite theme for the intros is epitome?
Yeah, I like epitome.
He loves saying, like, I think he has said that almost every guest.
Yeah, you get 2 epitomes like every month. You get 2. And of course, we have our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank, my man, Lord Sovereign. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, everybody? Good morning.
Good morning.
morning, Sovereign. Good morning.
Hope everybody had their brunch.
Yes, I gave you guys a lot of extra time.
There you did.
Could have got an extra 30 minutes to
That's what I thought Attic went to do. I thought Attic, since he was helping you, he said, I'm going to take a little nap before the show actually starts.
That's what I did.
Yeah, Brad, Attic, they said Attic, you said you're loud. Whatever. All right, we get everything straight now, Brad. I know. Boogie says I'm low. Whatcha says I'm loud. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's going on, Soft? What you been playing?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Nothing. Like, all I got to play was a little bit of Link's Awakening this week. That's it. No Gears yesterday. Happy my Yanks are doing their thing, though, man. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. 9 to go for that championship.
I wouldn't know about that life.
No,
my World Series was at 53 home runs with my boy. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? You have a lot of things to be excited for with that team, I think.
Oh, stop that. They say that every year. Got a lot of things to be excited for. They had me all jazzed up, ready to go, and these dudes fumbled the ball at the first thing.
What's killing me is that the New York paper, not all of them, the New York Post is trying to diminish that accomplishment, saying because of the juice balls, there's no way he's going to hit that many. You know, the man in his rookie season went out to hit 53 home runs.
It's the juice
Don't
ball.
love.
Stop it.
Man, come on, miss.
Yeah.
But no, that's been pretty much it.
That's it, man. That's it.
Doubt. And of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Access Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports. King of the statues, who demands nothing less than that premium experience. It is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King, they've been waiting. How are you doing, sir?
Oh boy, I'm doing fantastic, and as you can see, the gold leaf is in the building. You guys understand what this means when the gold leaf is here. Phil Dominus Maximus Spencer is definitely gonna get his shine. But last night, I got a chance to watch Triple G versus Devchenko, and I saw Devchenko get robbed.
Oh my
Triple
God.
G get smoked like a cigarette last night.
Wow.
I mean, this guy was getting beat from pillar to post. I don't know who are these judges, but these judges really need their licenses revoked.
Wow.
It's a travesty in boxers, and that shouldn't happen, but it happens, and you understand. I know what they're trying to do, but if he fights anybody of any substance, any of real substance, I mean, and Devchenko is really decent, but he fights a champion, he's gonna get his boots smoked. I picked up Link's Awakening.
Wow.
Oh no, I told you I was getting that. I told you when they step their game up, I'll purchase. That's all. And, y'all want to do Astro Chain? I'm doing Links. And I purchased it. I'm going to put it into that. I purchased it yesterday with my Microsoft dollars. Thank you, Microsoft. Thank you, Discover, for sending me that. I do appreciate that. But at this point in time, I'm really pissed off with game purchasing. Because it's come to my attention that DayZ will be released on the 20th in Game Pass.
I knew he was going to bring Game Pass in somehow. I knew he was going to bring Game Pass in.
You know what? This further exacerbates the fact that financially I should not spend $1 because I don't know what's going to happen next. Like, I don't know if I go out and I buy this game and it comes out in Game Pass and I'm like,
with the
So
question.
let me get this straight. Don't pick up Shadowkeep, man. Wait for it to be on Game Pass.
Oh no! See, no. See, what you don't understand is that game won't make it to Game Pass. Whereas Anthem should have been a day one inside EA Access, and they actually put it in EA Access now after it died. That's so stupid. That's why the CEO needs to go the way of Sony CEOs out the door.
Oh my
But
Lord! Here we go.
I'm just saying. Listen, Destiny has their way of, and I'm gonna get into those dudes later. You're gonna see why it's never going to Game Pass, because us fools will definitely buy the same stuff over and over again.
No doubt. And of course, we have the love of the cooperative experience and gaming ninja himself, the Shinobi, LordCognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP, not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. You already know what it is. Destiny 2, Shadowkeep, all day, all long. The grind has been real. I talked a little bit about it on the last word with Ebontis. Man, it's been a lot of fun, man. Just getting back.
A little bit. Our episode was almost longer than this one's going to
be. Yo, facts.
How do you know how long this one is?
Oh, he know.
I have a general average of these, and we were right there barking at your door. So,
salute, man. Me and my bro was doing it up, man. We'll talk about Garden of Salvation with Addict and Death Singer and Sinister and Kaibatsu and everybody. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun with that. And yeah, man, real quick, UFC was outstanding last night. Shout out to the Style Bender. You know what I'm saying? Swagging on him. What did he do? Some Naruto joint? What was that? I gotta converse with Addict with these young anime stuff. I don't be knowing these animes, so I just know he did a dance and he did some thing. And it would look like it was straight out of some anime. And I was, before the fight, coming to the ring, it was the most choreographed. I'm like, he better win for all this show.
Yeah, I had flashbacks of Corey Spinks, man. I was like, oh, no.
He was borderline doing the Apollo, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't with you.
And I said, I'm all about
right
it.
now with you with this Aurelius, right now. I can't look at you.
When I saw it, I said, I'm absolutely all about it. I mean, if you're going to be young, flying, flashy, be young, flying, flashy, baby.
I feel that, man. But yeah, salute. Yeah, it was a tremendous fight. He got out of there. He got Whitaker out of there. Just tremendous counters, angles. The defense was on point.
Never off balance. Like
I should change my jewelry.
Nuts.
Yeah. He's now getting closer to Anderson 2.0. He still could be hittable, but that was his moment, and he shined. He threw his little shots at Bones afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brap with the $2 super chat. Sony losing leadership like Stadia losing packets. Oh my god. Oh boy, we'll get to the Sony topics. We got that. But anyway, that was a great fight. Shout out to the Hooker. Dan Hooker really pieced up Al Quinta, I believe. That was a great fight. Did you catch that one off?
I must have caught it, but I wasn't really paying attention. I was going back and forth.
Look strong, bro. He looks strong.
Yeah.
He's well-rounded. Every way you want it, from the jab to fighting to on the leg kicks, the complete arsenal. But anyway,
I can't is that he's that guy you got to pass.
Right. He's the gatekeeper. So yeah, he got him out of there. So that's what I got on that. So we got a lot of show. We are behind. Sov, we will be making some announcements, sir.
Yes, we will, sir. So first of all, I'd like to announce that we're going to move our Patreon announcements to next week since we're so late. We don't want to keep our guests too long. So next week we'll give you guys the shine you guys deserve. I don't think we have any guests next week, so we can just focus on giving y'all the love y'all deserve. So Patreon for next week. What we do want to announce this week is that if you look at the ILP Twitter account, you'll see that we have 2 new Gleam giveaways for the rest of the year, and these are big ones. These are big ones, guys. So go out there, check out our Gleam giveaways. The first one is for Pokemon Sword and Shield.
One of them is a big one.
What you mean one of them? Don't be slandering the great Kojima in here.
How you know what I was slandering? I didn't say which one.
We know. We know.
And the one you care about is the big one.
And the second one is, of course, the one the Addict is referring to. Kojima's seminal game, Death Stranding.
What's that?
Death Stranding, y'all. Make sure y'all get
Death Stranding. So, guys, check out both of those Gleam IOs. Go out there, tell your friends about it. Go sign up, definitely. And we will be giving those out right before they launch.
Hold on, I want to clarify something. So, Pokemon Sword or
Or shield. Yeah, you're not getting both.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
just
clarify
shield.
because,
That's the big one, baby.
Yeah. There's
Uh-huh.
two. There's a combo offer being offered, and that's not what the Lords are offering.
Exactly. Also, please remember, although this doesn't apply as much to Switch games, because Switch games are region free, but you will be getting an NTSC Region 1 code for both of these games. So either Pokemon Sword or Shield or Death Stranding. Another thing now, PlayStation makes it a little more difficult. So if you are from another country and you happen to win and you win Death Stranding code, I will try to jump through the hoops necessary to get you that code. If not, then we'll figure something out. But
No doubt.
We might have to pull that trigger and just do Xbox games.
Oh my Lord! Stop this list. What else we got? Is that what we got?
that's it, man. That's what we got. So go out there and sign up for that.
No doubt, man. So Sav already set the stage, and yeah, man. Actually got one quick one before we get into our guest.
Oh, sorry, real quick. And shout out to Brap. Yes, sir. Ya tu sabe.
I still can't pronounce that. Anyway. But yeah, man. So I just wanted to bring this to the attention of the Lords real quick. Obviously, we got the Gleam giveaways. You already know. Sav laid it down. But
I gotta give you this one.
yeah, man, through a popular demand, you know what I'm saying? We've been getting this request a lot, so we wanted to bring it to the realm. Lord King's first little debut jump off, you know what I'm saying? One of the famous ILP settings and sayings going on right now. We got that Throw 'em in the bushes, y'all.
Yeah.
Throw 'em in the bushes is live right now on ILP. You know what I'm saying? On the store. I will put the link. Yo, Hazel said
Why
yes.
the feet? Why the feet up?
The feet must be, look, your feet must be in the bush. You must be all the way in the bushes. Brap is laughing. Boss Will says fire emoji. No doubt. So go out there, hit the store. Shout out to Lord King. We're going to have a lot of King-isms, a lot of Lord phrases from the realm. This is the first one of the highly requested is out there. So
yes, definitely.
Yes.
Go get that. Listen, guys, just like you guys, I gotta order my stuff too, baby.
Yeah.
So go out there, look fly, young and flashy with it. Throw them in the bushes. And you know, sometimes you're at work and your boss is bothering you, just point to your shirt and just look at him like that's exactly what I want to do to you. Throw you straight in the bushes.
No doubt. Yo, Shot Slow-Mo said y'all need to trademark that. Facts.
Yo, listen, check out the feet. See, the feet is, if you saw the initial sketch that I sent out for that, that looks exactly like the initial sketch. And Cognito was dead in the chat. It was nuts.
I was like, it's the funniest thing. So again, Throw 'em in the bushes, and of course, another highly requested feature. I hope my man Monkey Punch is in the building because he asks me this all the time, man. Those ILP hats are finally here. So we had to work with Teespring. They were fighting us a little bit on the logo, so we had to make some adjustments. But yeah, man, we got that snap. We got that dad cap. You know what I'm saying? So go check that out if you want them flavors, man. We got the ILP jumping off. Brad was like, I need that shirt. I got you. We know. You know what I'm saying? We got you. You know what I'm saying? So you got that. You know, we got your trucker there too, Addict. Man, we know how you get the truckers on.
Wow, that was.
I didn't say he liked truckers. That was not profiling.
Super racist.
That was a little bit racist.
Yes, that was
truckers, bro.
I was gonna be coming from a man like that. Like he drive trucks. Like my man don't drive trucks.
Listen, he had the trucker flavor.
Next thing you know, I'm going to like NASCAR too.
I know, right? Come on, how you gonna do it like that?
I like to drink Budweiser and my Boston.
No, you like to do mud skipping. Like,
listen,
come on,
man. We got the truckers right now. Everything is good.
And he keep associating you with the trucker hat.
Because it's
Stop playing.
When we at E3, he had a trucker. I thought it was flavor. You know what I'm saying?
When have I ever done anything remotely truck related?
Listen, Addict, I'm
going to
going
the videotape. I got the tape, bro.
I'm
Go to the videotape, record it, write it down. I don't care.
Our first E3, you had when they were giving out the hats, you took the trucker from Xbox, the gray one. That was when we was in the hotel, the Chinatown hotel. Don't you start. I got it.
Oh,
yeah.
I did what?
Yeah.
Oh,
we gonna get
man.
alone for that. But anyway, so enough of that. So you got the
Love how he wanted to end that real quick.
We would call him the Lord of Receipts.
I got the receipts, bro. But again,
Oh yes, look at that ILP. The simplified ILP shirt is fashionably designed with the hat. Is a matching set that you should wear wherever you go. As you walk down the runway as you're going to get on your flight, everybody will know you rep the ILP. Let's go.
The chat coming at me, Cognito and the racism. Damn.
that was above board. Look at the hoodie. The hoodie looks spanking
man.
good.
Shout out to Brat with the $2 super chat. Attic, have you been to Cheat Lake?
Wow.
Okay. So anyway, we got the new ILP, like King said, with the great infomercial, simplified, streamlined, because you're going to need something to go with that hat, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So go check that out. I'm going to throw that up in the description as well. We got the shirt. We got the hat. Again, long overdue. You got your dad cap. You got your trucker. And you got your snap. So go get those real quick. So those put those in the show. All right. So we got the business, I believe, out of the way. And I'm done. I'm done with you, Brad. Anyway, now that we gotten all the announcement out the way and then we've seen what the Lords have been playing, I want to start, actually before we start with Lord BadBit, obviously Lord Ebontis has already received the royal treatment multiple times. Please check out ILP number 68 on his last appearance. Damn, 68, bro. That was a long time you've been on. 68. You know what I'm saying? That's when we had Eric.
What's funny? If you tell them the last time he was on, so that then you could tell them in that one what episode to go to. So they have to listen to like 3 podcasts to find out when he got his intro.
You got to plug, man. You got to plug for my boy, man. 68, man. He was there from there. And then even before that, ILP 30 for his full video.
I was like, it's been...
Getty.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it's like it has been a while. That's was like, what number is this? I missed it.
We're like, wow, 128, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been way too long. So.
Unprepared.
Yeah, man.
Unprepared. I'm sorry.
Man, listen, he's on a Destiny high right now. He is too high on Destiny to be
I
worrying
was
about
like,
what
I played
number
12
we
hours
at.
straight yesterday, so yeah, I'm a little tired.
Jeez, damn.
No. Shout out to Valacon in the chat. You guys on fire. What's up, OG Lord in there? Good to see you, brother. But yeah, man. So we got that 30, and then I want to start though with Lord BadBit. His
man.
Yeah, man. His video game system history, his journey as a content creator, and of course, what led him to YouTube and the trophy room. So, Lord BadBit, let's start from the beginning, man. What was the first video game systems you had, and what got you into gaming?
So again, 28. So I've been in the game for a while now, right? But no, like the first system for me, when like you think of a person in their 20s, it's usually like N64 or maybe even like the 6th generation, like GameCube or something. I go all the way back to the NES. When I was like 2 or 3, I remember watching my brother play like games like The Rocketeer, Back to the Future.
Whoa.
Oh my God. We played Turtles in Time. Are you kidding me? Power Rangers. The best beat 'em ups, by the way. Power Rangers. And Turtles in Time. So that's where I start kind of playing it or just kind of watching it. But the first game I truly like remember playing and beating and just absolutely falling in love with is Super Mario World, which is the best 2D Mario game.
Ooh.
It just is. It has the best art style.
Has the best
soundtrack. Yeah, best levels. You can unlock all the different color Yoshis. Mine was blue.
Yes.
Blue's the best. And so like Super Nintendo was great. And I remember my grandparents would get the other system, like the not as sought after. So like they got a Genesis.
Oh, see, now we can't see. You see how you set that up? You see the slander?
Yeah, I know.
See how he said the other system? You know, the ones that did you hear this, man? We got
the one that had
console war. Come on.
Yeah. The one that had like the Michael Jackson Thriller game.
Don't you come for Moonwalker. Oh, remember that?
So we'd go over there and just that's where the other systems were that were in our main system. But like Sonic 1, 2, and 3, Sonic and Knuckles, the first DLC pack ever. That was dope, dude. Guys, back in the day, all the youngsters out there, DLC was just a cartridge you plug into the console that you can plug another cartridge into, and then you have a tower out.
Tower power, baby. Let's go.
Dude, awesome. I love the Sega Genesis. It's actually one of my favorite consoles of all time, though I haven't played many of their games. I just have so many really good feelings of it. Yeah, memories. And so like moving from the 4th generation onto the 5th, here's where you guys are gonna look at me a little crazy.
Let's get to it.
PlayStation 1, can I be real with you? That was the console my grandparents bought. They're like, this is what's going to get him into our house and stay with us and not complain that he's
so they had to bribe you with a console to stay.
Yes,
we
I
were
like your
not allowed to
grandparents.
take the PS1 to my house. It was against the rules because
That's
they know
right.
if we would just keep it.
You won't show up.
We wouldn't show up, but like they wouldn't buy any games for the PlayStation 1, just the demo discs. So like I played Crash Bandicoot, like I played Spyro, but just the first levels over and over and over.
Wow.
Like, dude, God, what was the one game? Oh my God, not Splinter Cell, but it was in that vein. I love it so much. It's coming.
Siphon Filter?
Siphon Filter.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many times I played that demo? And then like when I bought the PlayStation Classic, yikes. I played the first level of that game. I was just like, how did we do this?
You bought the PlayStation Classic.
We all make mistakes, dude.
Okay. Yeah, at least we admit it. See, that's the part of growth. When we admit our mistakes and we move forward.
Exactly. Like, I ignore the Order 1886. It just didn't even happen to me. Yes, like playing the PS1, I have really great memories of it. And like just like the guest you had last week, one of the best fighting games of all time. I'm gonna say it right here, and I'm gonna fight for it.
Let me see.
Masters of Terrakasi.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I don't even know what that is.
Star Wars.
Educate me.
Star Wars Tekken.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Wait, who made it? I don't even know about
I have
this.
no idea.
That was like Lucasfilm. That was LucasArts.
Yeah, that was back when they was in control of their own destiny.
Ebontis, do you know of this gem? I've never heard
Yes.
of this.
It's so bad, it's good.
Listen, Cog, you played it because I brought it over. And I was laughed out, and we probably put it on once. And then shout out to Lord Valicon that's in the chat right now. He knows when I brought it over, we were excited, and then we quickly lost all excitement, and that game was never seen from again.
Okay, all right. This
Again,
is
dude, it was so bad that but as a kid, that's all you got, right? So like we didn't pick King of Fighters because we don't know what that is. So we know Star Wars, we love it.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right. So basically, okay, I got it now.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
It's awful. It's absolutely awful, but it's amazing. That's how bad it is.
Okay.
But then moving past to one of my favorite consoles of all time.
Okay, let's get it.
Is the N64 that we had in the house. I remember how we got it because it was a big argument in a Toys R Us.
Whoa.
And my mom's just like, just get him the damn console because we're never gonna hear the end of it. And my dad's like, fine, I'm gonna buy him the console like old school Spaniard. That's what my dad is. He's like, so like picture broken English but really upset. He's like, I'm gonna buy him this console, but I'm not buying him any games. And my mom's like, well, that's stupid if you just gonna buy a console, no games. And so my dad begrudgingly bought us the N64 with Shadows of the Empire.
Okay.
And wait a second.
What you got?
And Super Mario 64.
Okay.
You know what's funny? You know what I got two games when I got my N64. I got Rogue Squadron and Glover.
Who hated you? They loved you and they hated you. They gave you sweet and sour at the same time.
I actually start to this day. I want a Glover remake.
Wow.
No, there's actually was rumor a couple a year back that they were making one.
Addict, stop. They're not making a Glover remake.
Shout out to Brad.
We gotta give up on that dream. We gotta give up on that.
Gotta give up on. Shout out to Brad, fellow Latino gamer, Johan.
Oh yeah, man.
Dímelo. No doubt. Continue, little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, we got the N64, and that ended up being one of my favorite consoles of all time. I often say it saved my childhood because let's just say we'll keep the story short. It was a very tumultuous period in my little childhood life. So that game, while real shit was happening in the background, I was playing I was playing Super Smash Brothers. I was playing Mario 64. I was playing Shadows of the Empire. So I didn't know any of these things were happening in the background. Mario 64, one of the first game I completely 100%ed.
Let's talk about it, and let's talk about the debut of the analog.
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand. Like, just remember King Solve and adding the touching it and the sensitivity and remember, you can make Mario like tilt and go in a circle, and it just changed the game. Like, people don't have to realize, like, we have to give Nintendo a lot of innovation. Sometimes they innovate a little too much. Sometimes when they don't need to, but they do pioneer a lot of things that sometimes the rest of the industry copies, and that I remember vividly. That game really changed the game. I got to give it up, man.
Yeah, it's what they do with the constraints that they have.
Yes,
really makes Nintendo one of the most creative. I wouldn't like innovation is a word people often use. I think it's really like the creative side of Nintendo. That's what games are all about. Yeah. And so when it comes to Mario 64, it's one of the first games I 100%. It's one of the first games that we heard rumors of Yoshi that being the thing you unlocked, and that was just when that moment finally happened for us. We were just like, holy crap! So what do we do now?
So 64, that was your baby. That was like your one that really kicked you off.
Yeah, that was the thing that really just like. If the SNES didn't do it, it is the N64 that really solidifies. I love video games, right?
Hold on one second. Shout out to Multi Martinez. I got Rush 2049 and StarCraft for N64. That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Boss Move. This N64 controller look like a Batman logo. That is fact.
Yep. And he was able to play it in like 20 different fashions. I had it all switched up.
Yeah. All of them uncomfortable, but yeah. You can do it. But like, like, dude. I mean, GoldenEye 64. Dude, it's the jam. It's so freaking good. Classic. So, yeah, N64, man. What a system. Awesome.
And then we get,
see, as a kid, I wasn't allowed to watch wrestling. I know, dude.
What was it, witchcraft?
Dude, no. See, my mom, big obsession with like things are Satan. We gotta stay away from.
And you saw the Undertaker, and that just took you out the game.
And she's just like, it's violent. I don't want to raise a criminal. Like,
like you gonna be outside DDTing somebody.
Exactly. He's not gonna read Harry Potter. That's satanic. Because here's a real talk. I think my mom didn't do that because when she was little, my grandma, she took my mom to see The Exorcist.
Luchadors?
No. She took her to The Exorcist. Thinking it was a Christian film. So I think my mom just didn't want to walk into something she was
scarred for life.
She was, dude.
They said they was going to see a nice Christian film. And it was The Exorcist. Oh my God.
That's my grandma's logic.
Wow. That is probably one of the single best moments of this show.
There's more.
So from this 64, then what we got?
Yeah, so moving from the 64 and The Exorcist, we moved to the PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube. I remember the launch of the GameCube, and then nothing much else. Like, I remember there was like a meteor shower, I think. That was something really cool. But other than that, like, the GameCube was the Super Smash machine.
Gotcha.
And Luigi's Mansion machine, dude. That game is so awesome.
Yeah.
Come on. And then my brother worked at Comp USA, and we got a pretty rip, dude. Rip Comp USA.
R.I.P. baby. Continue.
It's good times, dark times. But my brother got the original Xbox for like, I don't even know what the price was. And that is when I became a total Xbox fanboy, you guys. That's right.
Whoa.
That's right.
Oh, we really do it. Wow, we going. This is the expose.
He's doing it. He's doing it. He's doing it right now.
Wait a minute. You bleed green. Your foundation is a green screen. Talk to me about that.
So here's the thing. PS2, great console. I remember getting it for my birthday, though, being disappointed it wasn't a second Xbox. But I'm not one of those kids who are like, I want an Xbox. I was so happy. I got to play Gran Turismo, and I guess that's cool.
Right.
And like, I used my PlayStation 2 for like things like Kingdom Hearts, Ratchet and Clank.
Yep.
Shout out to Jack and Daxter. So many great games. Time Splitters as well. But when I think of Xbox, and when I think of like, Oh man, this is what I want out of a video game.
Talk to me.
It's Combat Evolved, right?
Ooh, I
The
was just
first
about to
Halo.
ask you, yeah, what was it like? What made you so Xbox? It had to be Halo.
It had to be Halo. It just absolutely had. I have a Lancer in my closet. We'll get to the 360 in a second, but like it was Halo, and I remember that was my first nerd like rage moment. Was like my brother and my best friend teaming up on me in Halo 1, and I hit my cheap CVS TV and left a crack in it. Like Halo Combat Evolved was a game that, man, if there was achievements, I would have 100 or what is it called in there? 1,000K'd it, 1K'd it.
Okay.
That is, yeah. Like I played it on Legendary. Like on Halo 2 comes around. Not even. I was one of the launch window of the Xbox Live experiment.
The beta test was the alpha, baby. Shout out to the alpha testers. No doubt. That's us. We paved the way. We gave you guys a lane.
You know, I got the little cheap little headset that came with it.
Yes.
I played Mech Assault, which was dope.
Yes.
And then Halo 2 comes around. My screen name or my gamer tag at the time, War Like Coffee. Why? It was one of the dumb like random name generators because I and Halo 2. And then just enough said at that point. One of the greatest multiplayer games of all time. Hands down.
Absolutely.
It's what made online gaming what it is.
Yeah, facts. It's the pioneer. I mean, the success of Halo definitely, I would totally agree, propelled that as far as multiplayer gaming being successful. And let's not understate, like, you know, the OG, even though
a lot can thank. Do you guys think just quick like Xbox be where it is without Halo? Like I don't think it would.
I don't think so too. I agree. And to me, because they came out with an aggressive vision with broadband, Ethernet in the box, hard drive in the box. So from a games perspective, they didn't have, they weren't big. The system itself wasn't successful, but it laid the groundwork for what future generations ended up eventually copying, which is.
And that's
I think I think if it wasn't for Halo and Call of Duty, I think that's what made Xbox what it is today.
It's really Microsoft knew going in that this was a long-term investment, right? Like this is a 10-year plus thing until we're seeing green, and like literal. And so like, the first Xbox, I have so much love for it. Shout out to the Duke controller. It's a good controller.
Shout out
and
to
you
the
know
big
what?
Duke.
Come on. Give it the love it deserves.
No, we're not giving it the love.
I hated that controller.
I missed the little camera buttons. Remember I had the little black and white camera buttons?
Oh my god, yes!
I was so amazed when you turned the light on in Halo. I was like, oh my god, there's a light.
I miss nothing from that controller. When they
the only thing that controller could be used for,
they got the object. We ordered the ones from Japan.
Yes, we got those one from Japan. Shout out to Mr. Lee. To who was that? What was that that we went to 181st Street? That was my dude over there.
Damn, I forget.
Oh yeah, we used to go on 181st up there, and shout out to them for getting us our Japanese fix to get those dirty controllers out of our hands and get us.
You want to hear the coolest story ever and why my mother could beat all your mothers in a fist fight?
All
right, here it is. The launch of the Xbox 360. Okay, this is it. Joe was on a waiting list. GameStop decides to screw me over and not honor the list.
Whoa!
So I did not get my 360 on release for Christmas. And my mom, I remember that Christmas, she's like, Joe, I'm not fooling you. She was saying this for weeks. She's like, I didn't get you the Xbox 360. GameStop screwed us over. And like I remember on Christmas, she was just like, Joe, I promise you, I will make this up to you. Once I see an Xbox, we're buying it. All right. Just, whatever. And it was a week after like Christmas break, and I'm in gym class in 6th or 7th grade. I get a call to go home.
Okay.
Right. And now my brain thinks the worst. I'm like, something happened to grandma. I don't know what happened to grandma. I don't know. Now, spoiler alert, should have been really worried about my grandpa.
Right.
But you know what? The past is the past. So I walk downstairs, I get changed, and I'm just like having a panic attack. I walk into the office, I'm like, Mom, what happened to grandma?
Yeah.
Dude, what happened to grandma? She's like, shut up, I'll tell you outside. I'm like, so she kind of confirms that. I'm like, what happened to grandma? My mom's like, she stops me in the middle of the hallway. She's like, you know the Xbox that you wanted? And I'm like, yeah. Well, I got you it.
Mm.
Okay.
That's love.
And
That's
like,
love.
And then she's like, yeah, so I'm taking you out of school. I'm like, wait, for Xbox? And then my mom says the greatest thing of all time. She's like, so what, you want to go back to school?
Yo, salute. That's some parenting right there.
Dude,
That's what's up.
My mom has fueled my gaming love since I can remember. And I remember getting Call of Duty 2, Oblivion, which as a
Oblivion.
I did not understand nor get. And yeah, like Call of Duty 2 is
I broke my 360 playing Oblivion. That and Morrowind, man. I always wanted to, instead of playing the game efficiently, I always wanted to use glitches that were not able to be handled by those consoles.
No doubt. Hold on 1 second. We missed a super chat. Shout out to Brat with the $2 super chat. Xbox Live beta testers revolt NFL fever. Do remember, sir. No doubt. Continue, Lord BadBit.
But yeah, like my mom, then like I'm playing Call of Duty 2. She's just like, so I'm gonna get your meatball sandwich. Where do you like it from? And I'm like, I remember that moment of like chilling, being the ultimate kid gamer at the time, with like a foot long meatball sub, Call of Duty 2, and playing that multiplayer on repeat.
Yeah,
and then the
your
year
moms helped you skip school and brought you snacks so you can play games. Shout out.
Mom's badassery does not just stop there. Though. I had.
His mom's called up the principal and said, "We have a dire emergency. I need my son out of class at this moment." He came in the hallway, "Ma, what's going on with Grandma?" "I'll tell you when we get to the car."
Yeah, but like my mom, she's so freaking cool because like, so I have a hernia right now, but my first hernia surgery I've done, oh, it sucks so bad. I hate it so much, so uncomfortable. But like, I remember, I remember after the surgery, it was during the Gears of War days,
right?
And my mom was just like. You know, I thought, you know, like save up for money a little bit after my surgery. I'll finally be able to play with my friends. I wake up and my mom's like, "Hey, dude, I got you a little present for getting out of surgery," because it was like my first one. I was so freaked out by it. And then she gives me, and like a dumb kid, I traded it in one day and I regret it to the day I died. The limited edition Gears of War 1, where it came in this huge tin. It was beautiful, and just playing that while I was healing up with my best friend Ruben at the time. And Gears of War.
Wait, she didn't let you watch wrestling, but she gave you Gears of War.
That is true. Yeah,
she helped you cut school and give you hoagies, but she didn't let you watch wrestling.
I don't know, man. She had like, here's the thing. Halfway through, I think she just gave up.
Oh, okay.
Not fighting, but like more like God, like I like fighting it, and maybe like my evilness kind of rubbed off on her because like nowadays my mom, awful human being.
Oh wow,
she gets all the jokes. She gets all the jokes. Like I love her to death. But like, yeah, my mom all of a sudden, like overnight, she was just like, instead of being like this weird, satanic person, whatever, she was just like, "Yeah, I'll get you Gears of War. Yeah, sure, I'll get you." The only one she wouldn't get was like Grand Theft Auto at the time.
Okay, so that was limits. There's limits here. There's
limits. You can stall a guy in half. Just don't kill the hooker afterwards.
No. So, Lord BadBit, I gotta ask you this. real quick because you definitely surprised me. You got the Xbox love in there. You got the Nintendo love. So I gotta get when this transition happened that you become the PlayStation Trophy Cast guy, because like what happened? Your history denotes another podcast.
It is so Xbox, and that's why, like, when it comes to the trophy room, I always play the hardcore fanboy side as a joke because I know that my history of PlayStation is somewhat PlayStation 3, but mostly PS4, and that my co-host Kyle is the person that's in love with PlayStation. Like, he's never played an Xbox, he's never owned an Xbox ever. And
shout out to Who Dat Ninja.
Who Dat Ninja, man, greatest human being I've ever met.
Greatest name ever.
And so how that happens was, again, huge fanboy, like to a stupid degree. And I'm working at GameStop and this guy is coming. Guy comes in and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm going to sell my PS3." He has no controller. He has none of the wires. Obviously, it smells like weed, so he's probably buying weed.
And so I'm $6.
Yeah,
that's
no,
company protocol.
exactly. So I was just like, listen, we'll give you $60 for this. But you need to get the wire and controller, so it's pretty much useless.
Right.
Here's what I'll do. Just out of the morbid curiosity, I just got paid today. I'll give you $80 for it.
Okay.
All right. Got it. Bought like the wire for it for like $5, the controller for it like for 30. So essentially, like I got my PS3 for like $120.
Oh wow.
And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna try this thing out. Whatever. This is in the middle of the PSN blackout. Remember that? Shit?
Yes,
Wow.
yes. I remember.
So I played Uncharted 2 because I was asking my Sony pony friend. I'm like, what's a game to get for this? I have no idea.
He was a
Whatever.
bad boy. He called him
PlayStation
my
is
pony
stupid.
friend. I let it.
Yeah.
He's a bad boy mode complete right there. Continue.
Yeah. And so my friend's just like, start with Uncharted 2. First 10 minutes of Uncharted 2, it blew my mind. It was literally like coming to Jesus moment of like, man, the way I've been thinking this whole time is the dumbest way of thinking ever.
So this was a transformative experience. This is when that single player Sony PS3 exclusives were kicking in hard. Okay.
So during the whole month that like the PlayStation blackout was happening, everybody was complaining. I'm having the time of my life. Dude. I'm like, Uncharted 2 might be one of the greatest games I've ever played. And I just started playing the whole backlog of Sony games. And it was during this time where like, I can't even tell you an accurate number of how many red rings I had with the Xbox 360.
So now the hate is building.
Now, yeah, there's some.
I had 4 of them. You're good.
Oh,
No,
see, look at E woke up with this far.
I'm telling you.
I'm letting this man do his thing.
I love it. Please chime in. We love the pettiness. Continue.
I'm telling you, like at least 6, and it came down to the Halo Reach 360. That red ringed. That was the slim version.
The slim.
And the person told me over the phone, yeah, it still does it very rarely. We just removed the red LED. And I'm like, I hate you guys. Yeah. So at this point, I'm a PC guy. I'm playing my PS3. I played The Last of Us, another come to Jesus moment.
Oh my God.
This is, I know what my PlayStation is. It's the exclusive machine, right? I have this PC. I begrudgingly hate Xbox, but I know I'm going to come back to it.
Right.
I know this abusive relationship is what it is. And, PS4 happens, and I'm just like, okay, I think I'm going to get this console down the line. Let me see what Xbox One has. And it's the Xbox One launch.
Yeah. Oh.
It is what it is, right? Major Nelson fights Joe, what was it? Angry Joe about, it's the always online capability, and it's not like flipping a switch, and a week later they flip the switch.
Wow.
And it was how many red rings I've been through, right?
This is deep. I like where you're going with this.
Yeah, it was feeling a kind of slighted and betrayed by this company that I've had so many great memories with, but it was over time, and I think that was the straw.
Gradual process. I want to cut you for a second because this is I love hearing your story only from the simple fact that like you, in my opinion, represent what had happened. You know what I'm saying? At the start of the generation between the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. And people don't realize there were a ton of Lord BadBits that were predominantly Xbox guys. Yeah. And it was the consistent thing. Obviously you had the red ring. So that I can't combat you. Like if you having constant failures with one product, I get that. You know what I'm saying?
I know a bunch of people that stopped because of the red ring.
Yeah. So you got the red ring on that. Then the gen starts, the befuddled messaging. We got a 360 for you, the DRM, and then Sony does the most iconic thing. Here's how you trade games.
Exactly.
Right?
At $400.
Boom.
You can play your
that $100. Say that part right there.
Oh, here we
that
go.
$100 is the part that got everybody over. It's one
not
thing.
A dumb camera that watches you when you
exactly, but you got a camera watching you now. So I mean, the things that people was fighting for then, And then when they PSN go down now, they like, oh my God, no. Or when they Xbox Live go down now, they're like, oh no.
Right.
But that's the funny thing is like Xbox's prediction of the future is mostly accurate.
It's mostly accurate. Yeah. Continue.
It was literally
it was forced.
Nobody wanted. Nobody wanted to be told what to do.
Exactly.
And I feel you. That's why I brought both.
Yeah, you needed the illusion of choice, right? Well, yeah. And so, like, for me, getting the PlayStation 4, I remember the first year sucked so bad because all these games that were supposed to be the revolutionary.
I love that you said that because a lot of people forget that I always make an argument that the Xbox One launch titles were way stronger, in my opinion. Like, because it was Knack, Resogun for PlayStation 4. It was very indie centric.
Listen, that's around the time Sony was embracing all the indies.
Yes.
And because they had no games. Microsoft had the games but they had no resolution. So they had their resolution was bad and they had a camera that was watching you. So you didn't want that.
And less powerful.
It was because of the stupid camera. Yeah. And then Sony had the power because they didn't put the camera in the box. They removed it behind. Listen, when I get to my part, you're going to love it. You're going to love this. You're going to love this.
We're going to get to it. So
you're going to love this guy. But Titanfall was a game I really enjoyed, but I enjoyed it on my PC. Watch Dogs, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And then even like Destiny, right? Which we'll talk about in a second here. Was a game that, like, man, this is how big of a nerd I am. I love Bungie. I know their complicated relationship with Microsoft, and so seeing them on stage of a Sony, platform, insane. Then, putting Destiny into my PlayStation and just seeing the Bungie logo, like I got emotional. It was like they left with me.
So it confirmed you made the right choice to move. I mean, let's just call it what it was.
And I love Destiny 1, as flawed as that game was. I loved it so much, and so
you're with the right group of people. You're fine.
Seriously. So, like, as much as I understood it was flawed, and I definitely agree with the criticisms, it was still like a game that I just have so many good feelings for. And then we get to Bloodborne, game of the generation. Where's my little?
Here we go. He's starting early.
Let's go. Let's get this guy.
So,
all right, let's talk about Bloodborne and why it's good.
Oh, you got the statue. Legit.
So, no, he's
fire. Can't get a statue.
Bloodborne is a game that, back in the day, I was just like, I'm a shooter guy. Yeah. I'm a third-person shooter guy, strategy games. I don't know anything about these action RPGs. Dark Souls is hard. Playing that game opened my eyes because I fell in love with it instantly. I was just like, actually, I really like this challenge. Actually, game's not hard. It's just teaching you things without being overtly here's the text on the screen.
That game is abusive.
That
game is abusive. And I thought Ninja Gaiden was abusive. That game is above board abusive.
That was the thing. Like, I played Ninja Gaiden and I hated it because it was stupid hard. And Bloodborne, something clicked with me. That was just like the first level is perfect. I say it all the time.
I think Bloodborne is one of probably PlayStation's second best exclusive.
Hell yes, it is.
Hell yes,
right next to God of War.
Oh my God! Like, to me,
God of Bushes.
Stop
it.
Man.
You better not talk about God of War like that. Come on, man.
Oh, get me!
I
come for me, baby.
I love Bloodborne.
I'll talk about God of War all day. But anyway, continue.
Let's go. He's ready.
Yes. But like, Bloodborne was like, it opened my eyes to like, this is awesome level design. It made me think deeper about video games than previous. 2016 happens. I love Overwatch. Blizzard, one of my favorite developers.
Oh, well, no, why don't you repeat that?
Overwatch.
You talking about this Kratos or that fake Kratos that you got? You talking about this Kratos? You talking about black Kratos, or you talking about that other Kratos that you got?
Oh,
the voice actor so black.
Oh. People don't understand. Like, people literally want Kratos to be exactly like he was in the first three for the rest of his existence in this world.
Well, I can tell you this: the Kratos that I want.
Look, it was the Kratos we needed. It wasn't the Kratos we wanted. It was the Kratos we needed.
No, it's the Kratos you got, and you fought the same guy over and over again, so you had no choice but to take it.
Oh my God, there will be no
Oh
God
my
of War
God,
slander
they're
yet.
going at it. They're
Continue.
going at it. So yeah, Overwatch happens. Love it. Uncharted 4, I very much enjoyed. I don't think it is like, oh my God, one of the best PlayStation exclusives ever. It's good. It's just a little long in the tooth and predictable and stuff. So Overwatch is my game of the year. Again, it's another like huge love of mine. Like I love Warcraft.
Good game.
My favorite franchises of all time. Overwatch is just like Blizzard making a shooter makes no sense to me, but I was so on board and seeing how successful it was and is still amazing. 2017 happens. All right, Joseph fell out of love with Nintendo.
Right.
All of a sudden,
boom,
I'm back.
Now, see, that's where me and you link. Right there is when I fell back in love with it because I had stopped with them for a while.
Stop. Dude, with the Wii, and like, no, get it out
not doing it. Facts.
Now y'all can buy all the old Wii U games you skipped.
Yes,
exactly.
And it's like a brand new lineup for me.
with a console I give a damn about. Like, it's amazing. Breath of the Wild, amazing game. And at that time, you know, it overshadowed Horizon Zero Dawn. And this is where the PlayStation
at that time. What are you talking about at that time? It still overshadows that game.
Oh yeah. But well, for me, like it was after E3. I wasn't feeling Horizon, but I was just like after E3, after all my coverage, I'm gonna just take a week or two. I'm gonna play Horizon Zero Dawn, and it was like one of those games. Like I always hear stories of like I wasn't into this game, but then I played it 6 months later and I fell in love with it.
Right.
Horizon Zero Dawn is my game of the year, 2017.
Wow.
Always get hate for it. I understand it. I understand it. I always get hate for it. I definitely, I get it. I get it.
That's a big one. That's a hot take.
My weapons don't break after 5 swings.
Oh, we're going to do. That's what we doing, BadBit. That's what we doing.
Yeah, I love Breath of the Wild, but everybody
you just don't fall asleep while you playing Breath of the Wild either.
hold on. I gotta get E right quick on this. E, for that guy, who did you have for your game when it was the 2017 jump off? Did you have the Horizon or do you had Breath of the Wild?
I'm trying to think of everything in there because like. For me, Breath of the Wild, I was been so stuck on Destiny. I've missed too many games. Like I didn't finish Breath of the Wild. I didn't finish Horizon Zero Dawn because of me doing too much Destiny. So I have my own fault there. But
just
I don't know.
Like what?
Just the feel like Horizon was cool, but when I like stepped into the world of Breath of the Wild, it just felt so open. It's just something different to me. It's like, and I know, and I believe me, I have friends that were like, "Hey, Breath of the Wild was not the best. Like, hated the weapons break-in stuff like that." It's like. There were things that I think could have been changed, but just the open world, you look out to a mountain and you can go all the way there.
I didn't mind the weapon breaking thing. Like that's what weapons actually do is they break. Like I kind of felt like when you got the Master Sword, that shouldn't have broke at all. Because that's literally it resurrects itself, but I felt like you shouldn't have even done that. Yeah. If you go through all that nonsense to get the Master Sword, then that thing should be invincible.
I feel you on that part. I think what E is saying, and I got a fanboy out for 2017 right now. Me and BadBit got to go at a little bit right now.
No. Go for
my
it.
thing is the only reason why I say a lot of people like Horizon, and I get it. I think it's what E said. It's the open world aspect. It's the first time Nintendo's doing it. But to me, where they did it different because they had aspects of like Portal in that game. But to me, the number one thing though is climbing stuff. Like
climbing. No other game does that.
Like I literally can scale. I see that mountain in the distance. I could scale it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can. It created an extra dimension that most 3D games don't do. You know what I'm saying? So again, is it like revolutionary in just that one aspect? No, but I think it. Like I said to Kaibatsu all the time. I think what made Breath of the Wild dope for me is that it was a marriage of all these great systems in one game, and it just merged well. You know what I'm saying? That's my fight for.
It's definitely. I would argue it's probably. No, I don't know if I really like Fire Emblem. It's the top 3 games on the Switch, like by far, because like if that single game got me into the Switch ecosystem.
Right. Yeah. Facts. I mean, that literally, to me, I think I told Nintendo Gurus this. I was on the show. I said, if it wasn't for Breath of the Wild being a launch title and as great as it was, I don't know if the Switch.
You wouldn't have purchased.
It's arguably they can thank the success of that game on that.
I think that
because at the end of the day, like people gave the Switch a chance because it launched with probably one of the best games that came out this generation.
Shout out to the Wii U that died with one of the best games ever made, Breath of the Wild.
And listen, I'm not here to like.
No. We're just fanboy. I'm just
No.
making my little point.
You know how we joke around all day.
Yeah. My thing with Breath of the Wild is it is one of the, if not the most important exclusive ever. Launch title ever.
I agree.
Right? Because that sold the idea of no. This game is the same game whether you're playing on the go or at home. It's the same exact game.
And you know, the funny thing is I always argue with people on this show constantly over Zelda. It's like people think I hate Breath of the Wild for some reason. It's like I never said I didn't like the game. I love Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But when you compare besides Skyward Sword, regardless of what King says, when you're comparing the Zelda games together, it's like which one? It's like putting masterpieces in a row. Right. They're all amazing. Besides Skyward Sword, which one's good?
I gotta say this right now, and I really can't take your word for it, right? But what I would do is I will let the CEO of Playcraft tell you which is the best Zelda game, and I'm gonna explain to you when a CEO can itemize all his games in his list, which is which is thousands of games that he has played and he have seen, and he has picked this game above all to be the Zelda that stands tall.
Shout out to the CEO of Playcraft.
Hold on. I demand an Iron Lord poll. I demand which Zelda is best. And we have to go with what the majority voted.
Listen, you know what
matters? I was going to say, quick thing. I just want to going to go through every person. Just say your top Zelda really quick. Doesn't matter. I'm just actually really curious.
Because it's not Skyward Sword. I'm sorry, Alex.
Yeah, well, you can say that, but the Wii U,
that is not added that saying Skyward Sword is the best
for itself. And I'm gonna tell you, look at the sales numbers on Skyward Sword. I'm pretty sure it's very high because that Wii sold a hell of a lot.
Put in the chat right now. What is the best Zelda game?
I can't believe a Zelda discussion break.
Get back on track.
Skyward Sword,
let's get
baby.
back on track, y'all. Let's get back on track. Y'all can put it in though. I got Breath of the Wild. That's just I gave up on Nintendo, and that gave me confidence in them. So that's for me. But continue.
Exactly. That's the point. Splatoon 2, one of my favorite exclusives, Nintendo exclusives ever. Like I love Splatoon so much. But like when I played Horizon Zero Dawn, like the beginning, like I get why people say it's boring or whatever, what have you. For me, as I grow older, I guess. My interest is like I want a really good story and like a character I could really believe in.
Right.
And that was Aloy. I loved Aloy. I loved her story, and I loved the two arcs, these two different stories, you know, that was happening at the same time, and at the end, kind of finally converging into one really great moment. And it was the ending of.
I just got to point out real quick. There hasn't been one Skyward Sword in that chat yet.
Continue. It's Ocarina. It's true.
About to say something about Horizon. I heard you.
Yeah, Horizon. I felt the same way. I think the gameplay got so. Honestly, for me, the gameplay got so kind of repetitive and boring. It was the story that pushed me through, and I stopped and started that game. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times, partially because of Breath of the Wild. The same thing, but. I have to say, like the story, I told you guys that whole Gaia thing and what they attempted to do to save that is amazing. That is one of the most amazing story arcs I've seen ever.
I got so emotional at the end. I literally beat the game and I just watched the credits. I just like these people. Powerful. I walked up to my mother. I just like I gave her the biggest hug. I was like, "Just want to let you know, I love you so much." I love you so
much. Not for nothing. Not the sidebar, but Breath of the Wild is the highest selling Zelda game with 8.48 million sold. Right, and Skyward Sword sold what was it, 3.41 million sold.
Here's the petty.
And as far as, you know, because there's a bunch of newbies out here playing that game. I'm not gonna lie, Breath of the Wild is fantastic, but I'm pretty sure once they do the remake, all you newbies will definitely be able to swing your little nunchucks and play Skyward Sword again, and they're gonna bring it out again because I'm asking for it. So the king is gonna get what the king wants, and you're gonna be playing Skyward Sword on the Switch.
Real quick,
make it quick because we're
notice,
late, y'all.
Notice how Skyward Sword's like the only game that's never talked about remakes, like ever. Like, notice how no one has ever brought up remaking Skyward Sword.
You know what I told you?
People want Ocarina of Time.
You know, listen,
like,
not everybody
game before they want Skyward Sword.
Listen, not everybody has a great palate, sir. Listen, not everybody likes caviar. All right, not everybody likes, the finer things in life. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when you get Skyward Sword, you will understand what the finer things in life is, sir.
I love how angry Attic is getting.
Yeah, he gets so angry. This is ridiculous.
He's looking like the Iron Man right here in the corner. See how red it is?
I hate to condense, but we got to move on.
Yeah, let's go.
So it was the end of Horizon that was just like, I need to make a Sony podcast right now, right this moment. And that's what the creation of the trophy room is. And eventually I had a co-host. She decided to go get married, get pregnant, have a kid. And so it was like, all right, sure, dude, thanks for leaving me here. Picked up Kyle Stevenson in 2017, rebranded the whole organization. And from there on out, the trophy room is all about PlayStation, but with the acknowledgement that we love all the other consoles too. So like, I'll make stupid little digs at consoles, but I'm just doing it out of respect. I'm jesting.
No, bro, I gotta respect it because, like I said, I've been on it. I've been on the Trophy Cast, and that was literally the energy. It was positive. You guys welcomed me in. He's like, I know Kyle likes Xbox too. I'm like, look, man, I got PlayStation.
like right there. I was just like, dude, we need to talk about Gears of War 5. We talked about Gears of War 5 on a PlayStation show because I love Gears of War 5. That's what I'm playing. I'm not gonna be fake and tell you I was playing Uncharted 3. Like, no, Gears of War 5 is seriously one of the best Gears of War games in the series. But like, with all that said, that's what kind of just started it off was Horizon Zero Dawn. And to talk about God of War for a second, God of War to me, I've never been a fan of Kratos. Couldn't relate to him. Thought he was a bit of a D-bag after killing his family. There was no for me love for that character. God of War, the reboot. I got so emotional because for me, the relationship Kratos has with Atreus.
Was the child abuse part, or was it what the child endangerment? Was it the child abuse or the child endangerment?
It was a little bit of both. It reminded me of how me and my dad interacted and the disconnect because he's a old school
stoic,
right? Stoic. I'm not showing you emotions, and I am very emotional. I take after my Puerto Rican mother. Like, that is what I'm all about, right?
He's like, boy, bring me cookies. Boy.
Pretty much.
Boy, why can't you shoot that arrow straight?
No, seriously. He's like, hey, get that thing over there. And I'm like, Dad, what thing? Just get the thing over there.
Shout out to dad and son relationships.
Yeah. It was that, like, there was like a moment of like how he mourns for their mother, right? Or Atreus' mom. And it was kind of this, and it was kind of like it was the same interaction I had with my dad when my grandpa died. And I remember getting into an argument with him because we had a lot of family fallout. And that what Kratos says is that he's just like, I mourn differently than you. I'm sorry, I can't like cry like you do. Like, that's not who I am. Don't question that I miss her every day type of thing. That's those moments of like just hit me in the field so hard.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, God of War is my favorite game of all time because of that.
Oh, see, now you just transition. That's what I was about to say, because we got to get the 5. We got to move. So here's the thing. And first of all, tremendous history. Not to abbreviate you, just that we're a little bit behind. But the thing is that, like you said God of War, right? So I'm assuming that's on this. So we got to ask you, like we ask every guest in the realm. I need that top 5 of all time. So God of War I just heard. Now again, it could be any order, and it could be franchise as well.
I got this.
Let's go. Let's go, man.
So God of War number 1. Okay, Last of Us number 2.
So you
Okay.
got God of War above that? Wow.
Yeah, man.
Interesting.
I love The Last of Us 2. I'm sorry. I will love Last of Us 2.
Mhm.
Red Dead Redemption.
Red
I love
Dead
that.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Red Dead
Wait, is
is-
that Ebontis chirping for Red Dead?
Dude, I've put
No, I've never played it.
Oh,
thousands,
okay.
Thanks.
thousands of hours in Red Dead 1, man.
You missed nothing, sir.
BadBit's moment. This is BadBit's moment.
I
Bad
gotta
Bit-
agree with King on that. Red Dead belongs in the bushes.
Oh my! New shirts out in stores.
We got Red Dead, number 3. And then number 4 would have to be Halo. It has to be Halo.
Okay,
Halo has
all
to
right.
be there. And then number 5, did I say Bloodborne? Let's put Bloodborne in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bloodborne is nice. That's definitely up in there.
So that's my favorite games of all time for sure.
Tremendous list, sir. Now, real quick, E, before we move on, I know you haven't been on since we changed our format, and
Okay.
I think I know 2 of them. So can I spit 2 of them that I think, and then you tell me what your 5 is?
Oh, you want my
If this
5?
man does not say Destiny for one of these, he needs to be kicked
All
out right now.
Actually, I think I know 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
All
my
right.
guess for Ebontis, let me see how good I know my codes. My best is Chrono Trigger.
That's number 1.
Oh man, that game is. Oh my god.
I'm gonna say I'm not now. The next 2 I'm not gonna know the order. I'm just gonna say them. Super Metroid. Oh, I'm wrong. And 3, Destiny got to be on it. But again, let's see. I could be wrong. Give me your top 5.
So Destiny has to be on the list. I don't know where.
Right.
Chrono Trigger is my number 1. That will sit there for probably forever.
It's hard.
See, I'm always torn on. I was like, when you were talking about N64, you had me in the feels as well. Because you talk about Nintendo, you talk about their creativity with like 16-bit cartridges and using songs over and over at different speeds and all the stuff they got creative with. And when you went in, like, I played 8-bit Zelda. Like, I got hooked on NES Zelda, the gold cartridge and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
But when I went, like, Mario 64 was a like revelation. And then the evolution was Ocarina of Time and the adventure beyond that. So Ocarina of Time is on my list.
Talk about it.
So
Let's get
yeah,
that
like
Skyward Sword in there.
no, here's like the sacrilege thing about that. A lot of people always claim Link to the Past is up there, and I've never played that. So that's one I've actually got to play. So, but like Ocarina of Time for the adventure and just like my age and exploring and everything, it was just like that was perfect. So Chrono Trigger, Ocarina of Time, Destiny has to be on the list. That is definitely there.
You wasn't
Like that- I mean,
if you ain't having.
I was like, it's 5 years of my life.
On Friday.
Yeah. No, but it's like it's been 5 years. The only other game that I've probably spent as much time as I have with Destiny has been World of Warcraft, and that was like multiple characters that were like 44 days, and just the journey that I like. I mean, that was years of like going through, and that was my first like 40-person raid. Like, Destiny was not my first raid. World was. So it's like when you come from that, World of Warcraft was another like it was a journey, and those were a crazy experience.
You right now,
Max
they pumping that Ocarina Tom, Chief Tom, Ocarina getting love out here in these streets, King.
That's probably one of the most loved Zelda games. You know, the least played Zelda game is probably Skyward Sword because of the fact that people were
I played a decent amount of that too.
See, look, he played. See, you know, a lot of people were like going against the Wii at that point in time. I don't want to play no Wii. I don't want to be swinging no thing. And once I saw that Zelda, you were able to actually have the 1-to-1 ratio of swinging the sword. I'm sorry, that whole thing to me, I've always wanted to swing the sword.
But if it's the case of that, then why did Twilight Princess do well?
Twilight Princess did well because of people like you that didn't want to use your arms. You didn't want to swing the sword. So, you know, you sat there and you was like, I'm a button press. And, you know, it fit for you. So
it's okay. Skyward Sword gets the exception, but for some reason, you know, Twilight Princess didn't have that issue.
Skyward Sword and Zelda.
me and you gonna play Skyward Sword together.
Y'all gonna have
episode.
Hey, I'm not saying they're the be all end all, but IGN still gave Skyward Sword a 10.
Wow, really? I didn't even know that.
Man, IGN gave everything until you could think of that didn't deserve it.
Upset. Continue, E.
But I was like, in King's defense, actually in playing Skyward Sword,
Yeah.
like, I don't know if people did or didn't like it. Like, it was just one of like, I fell off time, but I was actually really enjoying the game. So it's like, I don't have anything against Skyward Sword. Ocarina is just special spot.
Did you finish it though?
I haven't finished a lot of games. My brother gives me crap
Oh,
about that
okay.
all the time.
Okay.
Listen,
to try to invalidate your
but I'm
opinion,
gonna tell you right now, he can finish a Nightfall by himself.
That's right.
If you
All right,
really
he can
enjoy
finish
a
a
game,
raid
you're gonna
literally
finish it.
by
I'm
himself.
just saying.
He's the Shattered Throne
I'm just
finisher,
saying,
the Ascended
yeah,
Realm finisher.
I'm
Let's
sorry.
go.
That man got other things on his mind.
Exactly.
Sorry.
If you like a game, you're gonna
Destiny
finish
Streets,
it.
and you worrying about finishing.
Nah, he got things he got to do.
He got things
It ain't no
to do.
Skyward Sword,
All
sir.
right.
I got like a crew behind me right
That's
now.
right.
I got like
You got the gang rolled up. The campfire's hot.
No, I remember that time I looked at your channel, Cog said, yo, look, oh, you gotta look at this guy. And I'm like, okay, let me tune in. And I looked and I saw you soloing a Nightfall. I'm like, this guy's crazy. I said, when I go in for a Nightfall, I call for help ahead of time, like a half an hour, scheduling friends. This guy's like, I don't need anybody. I'm going in by myself.
He's the best, man. One of
see
the
my
best
like
of the best.
my like somewhere in the middle. It's like, and then it's like 1 and 2, like Chrono Trigger. I think Legend of Zelda are probably there. Below that is always stuff that has been in different places and kind of in flux. Because I mean, you said Super Metroid, which was an amazing game. I love the exploration. For me, it almost might be the world of like learning challenges, which has got me into like Bloodborne and Dark Souls and things like that. Is something all the way back to Mega Man 3. So like Mega Man 3 was one of those games that I straight up finished the whole thing, full completion. And that's one of those games that, you know, you miss 2 jumps, you start the whole damn level over and you're just screwed. So it's brutal, but that's one of those that taught, and they had to make them difficult because they were short. They didn't have as much space on as much memory and things like that. So no, Mega Man 3 probably is what got me to like many further games in the future that have been challenging, that has pushed me to do Nightfall solos and stupid crap like that. That I'm like, why am I going to do this? Because I want to have the challenge. I want to be like, can I do this? Right. Okay, I think I can do this. Right. Okay, and then I finally did it, and then now my YouTube channel is like, can I show other people how to do it? So it's been an evolution. But yeah, Mega Man 3, Super Metroid, Dark Souls, like there's a whole genre in there that's like challenging games for me that I enjoy as well.
It's funny you said that because I think that's me knowing you. That's how I seen the development with the Bloodborne, because I know you and BadBit share that, you know what I'm saying? And then like I seen you with the
Sekiro was really good too.
Yeah, like I see it, and I think that's from those Mega Man days. It kind of evolved.
Yeah, I was seeing you struggle in that game. That's for sure. There as well.
I got Sekiro.
Didn't I beat the last boss before you?
He got receipts. It's over. It's over. Mic drop.
He out here with that.
He out here.
You have to show me those receipts. I don't know who beat that game first.
Anyway, salute both y'all, man. We got a lot of show. Let's get into it.
We all love games. That's all it is.
We love games, y'all. Tremendous.
Star Fox over there, man.
Oh man, 64.
So many good games. You can't be wrong.
Can't be wrong, man. All right, the winner. All right, let's get into last week's poll winner. We got that going on. To the question, with their recent announcement by Naughty Dog, The Last of Us 2 will not launch with multiplayer and instead have a separate multiplayer factions mode at a later date. Do you agree with the reason given by the developer? The winner of a runaway landslide 3-way ILP poll at 73% is the yes. Last of Us single player should be made priority and not worry about a tacked on multiplayer experience group.
I agree with the poll.
I bet you voted. Coming in at second place at only 16% was the no, lack of transparency and just an excuse to monetize and ship a game with less features group. And at last place at a close 10% was the I don't care. Sony ain't got no multiplayer games for me to get PS Plus anyway.
I like that one, King.
I'm with you because that's the one I voted for. So.
Shout out to all the lords who participated in last week's poll. Lord Sovereign, I need your feedback on these polls, sir.
You know what it is. It is as it should be.
Thank you. He's got right here. I got you. Yes.
You single player experience guys.
Exactly. Ain't nobody going to The Last of Us, waiting 5-6 years for The Last of Us to go play multiplayer.
Yeah, no one's doing that. No one's doing that.
Just wait for it. It's coming. And then the second one, though, with the I don't care. That you know full well that whatever you get in multiplayer is going to be super robust. You're going to pay for things, but
let me just ask a hypothetical question to King, Ebontis and LordCognito, because we know Saul don't play Destiny. But let's say Destiny 3 drops, and they're like, we're gonna launch the multiplayer later.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell? Wait, shut up,
baby.
You said, wait,
not
wait.
even a
you
real
said
question.
That, what the hell?
Here's the thing. It's the same with CD Projekt Red, what they're doing with Cyberpunk 2088 or whatever.
No, I think it's a big deal. I'm
The
sorry.
difference is though, BadBit. I do see your point, but the difference is I think the mistake they made is they should have been transparent from the beginning. Like, see how Cyberpunk is telling you.
You let the media tell you stuff.
Oh, yeah,
They're hiding stuff.
It just came out so late, and I think that was what the surprise was, because initially they did say multiplayer was going to be part of it. So I think that's what really got people upset.
Well, I mean,
the thing is, it's not even if they said if multiplayer is going to be a thing or not. Like, I'm sorry. I think that if you look at their Twitter, they're posting they're literally retweeting them posting job listings, like they're trying to prove to people it's under.
But they did that 6 months ago. Nobody.
But why would a dev come out openly in an interview and say we focused on a single player entity entirely, and then they came out later after that and said, okay, no, we don't know what they were talking about.
Yeah,
we have a multiplayer in the line.
No, because like straight up, like even the co-creator Steely even said, like, dude, I've seen it, it's there, it exists. Developers are constantly hiring. Again, before this big announcement, like 6 months ago, there was job listings for multiplayer level designers.
But we don't know if that's if that was for Last of Us 2. We don't even know if this is gonna be a Last of Us 2 game.
I mean, we have to.
It could be an Apex Legends thing where it's completely unrelated to the game itself.
I don't think Naughty Dog's hiring anybody for
one thing we can agree on. We can agree on one thing, that they're gonna make you pay for it separately, and the sheeple's gonna go buy it.
We'll see.
I don't want at the end of the day, you let people believe for years that this was coming out, and then you didn't clarify that it was or was not coming out until you started getting attacked. You didn't even tell people yourself. People have every right to be upset with Naughty Dog.
I get it, but look.
I mean, sure. I mean, you have a right to be upset.
It's like it's like right now. Mm-hmm. Everyone that plays Destiny 2 assumes there's going to be a multiplayer for Destiny 3. So if they all of a sudden doesn't have or doesn't look like, if you have a whole huge demographic of people assume, then why would you let that go with or without it?
He said the fake.
I don't care what Christopher Hart says.
Listen to the fraudery. Anyway, we're not going to do last.
We can't read the chat. It's not in color.
Also,
I guess my only this is my.
Let me get it.
I was just gonna ask my one question is did they ever say it was gonna have multiplayer?
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Color.
Yes.
Okay, well then if they said that and they changed their mind, then that's a difference of things. But it's also, I mean, they can. That's a game developer choosing to change their mind or that, and that's the point where I was wondering. Honestly, I didn't know because if they'd ever said it before, then then expectations were there. But also, what is Last of Us mostly known for?
Right.
Yeah.
Story.
Like if they do it to Destiny 3, you have every right to be outraged. The game is a multiplayer game.
It's a shared world, shared open world.
His single player experience.
Well, listen, I would be appalled, honestly, if Destiny 3 came out and they were like, there's no multiplayer.
That right there would not happen. That's idiotic. Right. That won't go down.
So it's an apples to orange comparison. It doesn't make sense.
Well, why don't you put up listen, I don't want
the comparison was to say, look, the previous one had this.
Yes,
it's like Crucible. Let's say from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, it wasn't doing good. If people assume it's going to be on it, then you have to clarify if it is or is not going to be on it.
Did they clarify? Is the game out yet? Is the game out yet?
No.
When it comes out,
is the game out yet?
No. So, but you want to bet your knees that it's going to come out with no multiplayer?
You needed 6. They already said that. What needs are you betting?
I'm just saying, this is the problem. This is the problem. If I purchase the first one and have multiplayer in it, if I play it or not, I don't care. It came with it. I don't want to buy part 2 or something and get less apart.
So you telling me the multiplayer players needed 6 months to be able to absorb the fact that then I get a multiplayer launch? They needed all that time, right? They're getting 3-4 months.
It doesn't matter. Why does it matter? Then explain to me. Why didn't they say this? Why did they let the media cover it?
Dead Space 3 really sucked because it didn't have Dead Space 2 multiplayer. If it just had that awesome multiplayer from Dead Space 2, it would have been amazing.
Probably so. I didn't buy
all-time great.
You showed a single
There's a-
player
there-
story.
There's a
They're
difference
talking
between
about
that.
single player for that moment.
Right.
They clarified within hours afterwards there is a multiplayer component. They've been
Right.
hiring people for multiplayer months before their.
That doesn't mean that they're working on the multiplayer for that individual game.
So why would they hire someone for multiplayer and then it's go, oh yeah, and you're working on the single?
Naughty Dog
it
is
does
working
come
on a
out.
PS5 game. They clarified that before.
Hopefully it does come out. Hopefully they do give it to you for free. Hopefully they
do,
give
and
you
I
a
think they should.
We'll
experience,
see.
you know,
Real quick before we
yeah.
move on, because
Yeah.
Last of Us broke out again. Stitch with the file of super chat. PSN is in the Stone Age, so why make a multiplayer if the network is so far behind? Think about it. Oh my God! Shout out to Stitch once again. Anyway, look, we got
You're on to something, sir. I think you're on to something.
Here we go. We got some topics to get into now. Obviously, you know, the realm, they've been waiting for the king, and we're going to let him loose. But before then, Lord Sov, let's set the stage. Obviously, there's been a lot of things going on as far as Sony and as far as reshuffling, we should say, right? So,
Yeah, so
let's get to it. Let's get to that.
It's been a couple of things in the land of PlayStation this week. So first, before we get to the big one, well, they're both big.
Right.
So PS Now, which has traditionally been $20 a month, up until now, all of a sudden had a massive price drop, half of it, as a matter of fact. So PS Now is now $10 a month. In addition to that, they've added 4 first-party games to the lineup. And they've also added Grand Theft Auto 5s, which are games that now can be downloaded in addition to streamed on PC, which is something that people thought would not happen.
Right.
So,
I mean, they put Bloodborne on PC on the streaming service already. So, I mean, I don't understand why people would think this might not happen.
Well, there was a lot
you know,
of people that felt that
it was exactly.
That's because
Bloodborne,
people are out of touch and they in their
Bloodborne
console
was a
war
tech-
ways.
exactly. But that's what I'm saying. There's plenty of people who said, you know, they're not going to do that to God of War.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and there's plenty. I was on Twitter just looking at it. Have you ever audibly heard a stutter in a tweet? Like, you can't do that. I've heard people stuttering as they tried to figure out why this happened, right? So it's very interesting because, once again, they're showing that they need to double down on cloud gaming, just as, you know, the threat of xCloud is coming, the threat of Stadia is coming. So that's very interesting in and of itself. Secondly, so it was announced again through a tweet that Shawn Layden, the head of Sony Worldwide Studios, is leaving PlayStation. So that in and of itself, people leave all the time. The problem with this is that A, it was announced in a tweet. And B, since it was announced, it wasn't any sort of formal. Again, it was Sony's Twitter account, obviously, but it wasn't announced in a formal way. And beyond that, since that announcement, there's been no follow up from anyone. Shawn Layden has been quiet. The rest of Sony has been quiet. It's been left up to us to speculate what's going on. And there've been a number of different theories as to why this happened. One theory is that there is internal strife within Sony. If you think about Shawn Layden's trajectory in the company, he's been in the company over 30 years.
He's been in the company over 30 years. He didn't even get a tweet, man. That's crazy.
It's kind of crazy.
Well,
and
somebody didn't get a gold watch.
Sony did make a tweet saying
they made a tweet.
They made a PR tweet.
The fact that Layden hasn't addressed it either makes it feel like they told him, okay, you need to shut up, which is weird.
Yeah, it seems like
you can have what you want, but here, sign this NDA. Don't say nothing on Twitter.
That's exactly what it is. It's an NDA, which makes me very much assume he's going to a competitor.
So there are a lot of theories as to what's going on. So you know, like I said, we'll break those down because I know people have different theories on this podcast.
Yes, there's a lot.
So that is the framing for what's been happening in Sony this past week. Let's go at it.
All right. So like I said, we see what's going on. Obviously, the realm has been asking for Lord King. He's been very vocal on his theories. I should say his theory as to what is going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, he's getting ready.
Lord King, the floor is.
Let me mute my mic.
What do you feel about the Shawn Layden retirement and the state of Sony?
Do we have that backdrop? Do we have that picture? Do we have that picture
Of the snap?
of right before Lord Phil Dominus Maximus soon to be Aurelius Spencer, took the stage and he X'd out the two guys that were standing next to him. Do we have that picture, Sal? Do we have that?
I'm ready the picture for
yes,
you.
please post that picture. For those people that have forgotten what I told you will come to pass. I told you I am a guy of symmetry and of visuals. And when Phil Dominus Maximus Spencer stepped on the stage, he stepped there with a gleeful face. And he looked to his left and he looked to his right.
This is the picture, sir.
And show that picture. Thank you, sir. Thank you. There we go. Thank you. I want you guys to look at this fondly.
Yep.
As the person in the middle is the cheese standing alone. All right. So what he did was, first person to fall on that sword was Reggie. Now, I want you guys to keep the same energy because at any time, had Phil Dominus Maximus Spencer left his post,
Yo, this is too much.
had he left his post at any time, you guys would be ripping me a new one. So Reggie is gone.
Let's clarify. I hate to interrupt you, but let's clarify because you had a theory, and we must admit the Lords laughed at you.
I'm gonna get to that theory, sir. I'm gonna get to that theory, sir.
I laughed hysterically.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm gonna get to that theory, sir.
Continue.
So again, Reggie is gone. So it comes to us this week that Mr. Layden himself, the lone other person in that picture, other than Phil Maximus. Maximus Spencer is gone and he stands alone. So this is pre-snap. Okay. Now, post-snap, this is what happens, right? We've noticed that everybody's been having to work together. The only person that's actually there, that's a part of unity, is still standing there. You understand? So the other dudes did not want to play ball. So you don't want to play ball, you got to go. But at the same time, I want you to understand a couple of things, right? It's kind of funny. As soon as Mr. Layden is gone, dismissed, he leaves via tweet. Crossplay is enabled. What the hell?
That is interesting. I have to admit, that is interesting.
So you mean the clouds actually work? The power of the cloud has eliminated these two individuals?
They no longer care about the protection of the PlayStation community. They can be unprotected now.
So this is what has happened, right? And then I've noticed something. PlayStation Now prices.
It's always kind of right, though. That is kind of contradicting everything they've ever said.
Listen, the PlayStation Now prices has dropped, and now you get your exclusive that you can play on the PC. PlayStation fans are going crazy. I can play my game someplace else. Now, I've noticed Christopher Hart say it's not date and date. Not yet, sir. See, because at this point in time, you understand when the ship is sinking. When the ship is sinking, listen, you've made your bones off of the units that was sold. You sold 125 million. Man, you're doing such a great job. This is fantastic. You're winning. If you're winning, how come Microsoft is making the same amount of money with half the system sold?
Let me ask you this question.
Go for that, sir.
I have to ask some questions in the sake of balance and fairness.
Yes.
I want to say, okay, now with the Reggie thing, your theory was Reggie did not want to go along with the services and Game Pass eventually being on his platform, which has led to his dismissal. Now, Shawn Layden, do you also feel that Shawn was not in conjunction, in line with this thinking of services and cloud? Is that where you're going with Shawn?
Listen, let me explain, right? See, with Nintendo, they tend to cover their dirt up a little bit better. Sony doesn't have as much tact. So the guy wasn't out of office a day before they said, oh, by the way, we're going to cut the prices on this, and we're going to definitely move the, we're going to play together with these guys. So you mean the only obstacle could have been Mr. Layden? I don't want to play with them. We don't have no need to, but the figures show otherwise, sir.
Now, in your defense, the rumor is there is a power struggle between Ryan and Layden. And Ryan, in your defense, is pro cloud, is pro streaming. And the vibe we got, shout out to I believe it's the Game Biz article, and I believe shout out to BadBit, him and Who Dat Ninja had a great podcast on this. In reference to that was that, he seemed to be Layden seemed to be old school PlayStation, and he was definitely responsible for a lot of the golden years, a lot of the great exclusives that were acquired and stuff like that. And I will admit, it does seem abrupt. You know what I'm saying? So are you saying, King, that Ryan is in conjunction with Phil Thomas with the vision? Is this what we're saying?
I'm saying, Mr. Bowser, Mr. Ryan, they like to play ball. And Phil Dominus Spencer, well, he's going to pitch that ball. You better make sure that you're ready to play. All right? So, yes, I honestly believe that these individuals wasn't down for that. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I believe Reggie was an old school dude that said, I'm not playing with you guys like that. That's not going to go down like that. We go down to the fanfare, to the fight. See, you're looking at old school people that had these old school ways, and they stuck in these old school traditions. Now we all know going forward, these systems need to be online. They need clouds. They need structure. They need to be streaming. Come on, guys. You see Stadia. All right, you understand the big guy in the room. Right. Maybe he doesn't got his footing together, so we have to hit him while he's off balance.
That's exactly
So if you're not willing to play, and you're willing to stay stuck in the mud. So listen, I'm gonna say something that's highly controversial right now to you guys.
As if you didn't hear anything before.
Never been a good leader. Never. All right, and let me tell you why they've never been a good leader. Tell me what things has they done to innovate. They've often copied and imitate. Oh boy, and they actually done it to the extent that had you fooled. They're one trick pony. So if they're gonna keep doing the same exact thing, expecting different results, they're gonna fail horribly. So you can't take the same ideal of a single player experience into the future where multiplayer experiences is building corporations. You have to understand, you have to evolve. If you do not evolve, you will definitely go the way of the dinosaur. So these individuals that were on that stage has not talked anything about future. But the one person in the middle who has been the constant talking about unity, future, and vision is still there.
Okay, fair enough. Let's get some. I'm gonna get BadBit in. Before we get BadBit in as a response, I want to get these super chats. Shout out to Stitch with the $2 super chat. King has always been up to something hot. Lord Addict, do you want to get JD Gamer?
Yeah, I don't know how you said that. All right, so here we go. Phil, we got the $5 super chat from JD Gamer. It said Phil saw a future that others weren't willing to embrace. The other two were caught up in ancient console war while Phil was filling Microsoft's pockets. Okay, you know what, JD? You're on to something.
Lord Soft, do you want to get Brap super chat, sir?
Shout out to Lord Brap with the $2 super chat. The real Phil works for Google Stadia.
Wow. Shots fired. Lord BadBit, the floor is yours. Obviously, you've talked about this on your recent episode of the Trophy Room podcast. So let's get to it, man. What do you feel? What's going on? Is it simple that Layden didn't want to play ball?
No, I think so. First and foremost, again, I'm a PlayStation guy, so I have to hate everything Microsoft does. Not the case. What Phil Spencer has done with the Xbox brand is stellar, phenomenal. Without him, I think Microsoft would have sold the Xbox division long ago. It's his way of thinking of like, the console war mentality is stupid. I hate when people argue like PlayStation's dumb, Xbox is the way to go, vice versa. I hate that. And so does Phil. Phil wants to break down those barriers. The future of Xbox is in Game Pass. That is what is going to be printing them money, that Netflix future. And Phil sees that. Phil sees this as an opportunity that these games can sell this brand of Game Pass. So do I think there's a power struggle? No. I think what it is a restructuring. You know, Jim Ryan, I have this quote right here. The track record of the incumbent platform winning the next time around is not a great one. Ryan says. So the major thrust of my executive energy is to avoid complacency. And PlayStation has been complacent, right? We're seeing Microsoft do strides of cross-play, cross-progression, Game Pass, cloud streaming. And we're seeing PlayStation rest on the laurels of having really, really good exclusives, right? So the past year, Shawn Layden has not been in control of the day-to-day operations of PlayStation as a whole. Jim Ryan has, and John Codera have been. So we saw last year John Codera take Layden's job, essentially, and then back away from it, saying, you know what, I'm going to fix PSN because it's a mess. And Jim Ryan, a person who, listen, he says dumb crap. The cameras can't focus on him when he's on live TV, but he knows how to sell a product. When PlayStation 3 was, let's be honest, the PlayStation 3, he was able to make that thing sell in Europe. So he knows how to sell a service. He knows how to sell a console. And Shawn Layden, Shawn will never lie to me, Layden, knows how to make a game, right? So Shawn Layden's job, from what I got from the read here, was that position was actually made for him. For going, listen, just make sure that our games are good.
Right.
And so Shawn Layden's job was like, make sure the games are decent. Ryan's job is make sure we sell systems. And Codera is just like, let's make the PSN functional. And that's what I see this as a restructure, and gives me promise as to the PlayStation 5.
Wait, Codera is
the problem with that. The problem with that is, and especially for Layden, is that okay? They gave him this job as the head of Worldwide Studios, but that's after he held the job of CEO of Sony Computer Entertainment. So if anything, I don't care how you restructured, how you worded, how you put it together, he got demoted.
Oh yeah, he definitely did.
Let me ask the question: is Codera is he the one who just now signed up for PlayStation Now after they cut the price?
That was Shuhei Yoshida.
That's Yoshida, right? That was one of the CEOs, one of the head guys that didn't have the services of the platform that they work for. You mean to tell me,
dude, the CEO of Toyota drives an Audi?
I don't. We're not talking about that too, because all the workers inside Microsoft have either Game Pass or Xbox Live. So I mean, my thing is, like, y'all talked about this internal strife in the background. Of course, there's going to be internal strife if you don't support the products that you have.
But let's not throw shade there, because is Phil Spencer devaluing Xbox when he's saying how awesome PlayStation 5 is and that he's playing God of War? Or is like Mike Ybarra devaluing his exclusives when he's playing God of War on?
No. What he's trying to tell you is he's a gamer.
Yeah.
Right? And he's trying to tell you that I purchased a system that even your own CEO hasn't purchased.
Oh my God.
So when he sees the value in your own stuff that you don't see, don't you want that guy in the middle?
My God.
That's why he's in the middle of that picture, and those other two guys are gone.
I want a guy that knows how to run a business, right?
Right.
I don't want a guy. I don't want a friend.
Okay. You say Phil doesn't know how to run a business, but you just finished saying Microsoft is on the edge of death, and then Phil brought them back. But these two individuals have been complacent. So which one is it, sir?
No. What I'm saying is, listen, I'm not here to defend PlayStation. Right? They have been complacent. Phil Spencer.
All right, just real quick, we got some super chat. We got a $10 super chat from JD Gamer. Fat boys hate facts. So some facts they need to know. Sony is a mimic, a false god of play and copy Nintendo's controller, Sega's Edge for a mascot, then Microsoft's playbook for the 360. You know what? We usually do this just for laughs, but you really might be onto something. Like,
shout out to Victor Alstein with the $2 super chat, 10 points king. All right, continue. Now let the BadBit was rebutting, and then we got to get Ebontis in.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying
one more. We got one more.
One more.
Yeah. Well, shout out to One Bad Mother with the $5 super chat. Plastic Wars will be the horse and buggy of gaming. Barriers to afford being able to play in multiple ecosystems are coming down.
Yes.
Okay. Oh my God. Shout out to one more. Shout out to Brad. The chat is lit today. $5 super chat king. Of course, Microsoft employees have Xbox services, consoles, etc. They need all the customers they can get. Gotta get those reporting numbers up. Shots fired.
funny? Actually, hold on.
Might be on to something.
I do have like actual at Dish when you get there when you're employee there, like if you don't get their service for their because you get Dish for free, you have to actually sign a piece of paper asking why. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to inflate numbers.
Okay. All right. Now we got to get BadBit's rebuttal, and then we get Ebontis. Now, come on, BadBit.
No. Listen, it's not the greatest PR thing for someone an exec to go, oh yeah, I just bought PlayStation Now. I get what they're trying to do as a PR guy. They're trying to show you that hey, it's hip to go out here and buy PS Now right now, but that wasn't the best way to go.
Right.
So yeah, and at the same exact time, like I love Phil Spencer. I think he's probably a great dude. But he's not my friend. He's not my buddy.
You said you don't want a friend. You and you know what's funny? Some people feel that way about Phil. I mean, they say that he's a little too friendly and whatever. But into King's defense, you know what I'm saying? Like we all know the state of Microsoft at the end. I mean, at the start of the Xbox One generation, and like you said, BadBit, the tremendous job of turning around something that potentially could have been dead in the water, and he had to present to Satya to say, look, we got to reinvest. If we're going to take this thing seriously, we got to go all out.
I mean, there was like, he had a quote about with the CEO of Microsoft of like, okay, like they sat down, he's like, what's the future of Xbox? And after that, that's when he got that position of CEO of Xbox. So like, Phil gets it because he's a developer. And so he understands the I can't say that word. He knows the ins and outs of what makes a game and a platform. I think it's very interesting to see Sony finally do a 180 on so many things that they've constantly kind of talked about, right? It said no to like crossplay and stuff because they see the other person, Stadia, enter the room. And so they need to think fast because they've been complacent. And yes, everybody copies each other, guys. Yeah, it's just what companies do. I just got dark mode on my iPhone, okay? and I love it.
Shout out.
I was literally going to say Apple about their copying because they all do it.
Shout out to Google, man, with the $5 super chat. All top companies copy each other. The only goal is to make money. They couldn't care less what your opinion is as long as you spend money. Lord Ebontis. We got all the news, you lined it up as far as Sony, the state of it, and obviously, executives and Shawn Layden situation. How are you feeling about this? Like, are you concerned? Where are you with Sony heading into the next gen?
I mean, I'm happy to see this because, I mean, you guys have said it all pretty well. It's like, I mean, even was it Jim Ryan? I don't know his position at this point, but I mean, he's saying they're getting complacent, and that's something you don't want to do because every console generation, they keep bouncing back and forth because somebody's like, oh, I'm good. No, you're not. Oh, I'm good. No, you're not. Like, you don't want to make those mistakes because that's a really bad idea to do. I just think, like, I played Gears of War straight up on Game Pass. So I was like, but I think my buddy told me like Game Pass was $2 for that PC trial. Played Gears of War, and I was like, holy crap, like that's cool. Played it for, it's like 2 months, $2. I was like, damn, that's actually really, really cool. So that was actually my first foray into Game Pass, and it's a really nice thing to see PlayStation trying to get more on board with something like that. And I think Xbox Game Pass is a really solid product that they've got. Mine is actually more of a completely different question because whether Sony's finally getting on board with what, Xbox has been doing. Phil Dominus sitting on stage, knocking off both of those other two people. It's like, I was like, he's slowly, just bam. One is like those two guys have been in, I think those two guys, whether he's been a developer or not, they've been in their positions and with those companies for so long. It's like at some point different visions may happen, but it does sound like the Shawn Layden thing's got some sketch to it.
Yeah. I definitely think the way they NDA like that, he's definitely under NDA. He's definitely in a competitor state, and I think Stadia needs someone like him, so it makes sense.
Okay, well, we all know that when you go at one of these companies, you have a non-compete clause, right? And when you leave these companies, the non-compete clause could be for 1 year to 5 years, right? We don't know like what his deal is or what he signed and how it goes, but I don't see him transitioning over to Stadia, which is probably the cuckoo that's out there that everybody wants. I don't even know why anybody wants that, but the fact of the matter is this: that man left under mysterious circumstances, and at the same time that he left, I mean, listen, the same time he woke up in the morning, he's fired or something. Something happened that he's not there. Okay, we can all say that, but we can also say at the same time, the moment he turned around, before the door hit him in his back, you know, they already cut the price down on PlayStation Now. They're already playing hands. They showing hands. People holding hands. Now we can play together. Like, this guy was the only reason why we couldn't do this.
You only really see stuff like that when someone leaves. And I mean, this isn't like small changes. This is major changes. Price points, crossplay. Like, you only really see stuff like this when someone leaves. Is the person who got that position afterwards wanted to do it all along. But the moment that dude was out the door, he's like, he didn't even wait.
Right.
Like, it was literally the next day.
It feels like,
I think like the last thing he worked on was the agreement to get Insomniac. So I think like all these things are not like something, you know, Jim Ryan woke up and he's just like, you know what? Crossplay. That's what we're going to do. After breakfast, we announce it. This is months of them looking at paperwork, looking at an Excel sheet, figuring out what works. I think, you know, Shawn will never lie to me, Layden. He's been out of the game for so long in terms of the day-to-day operations that I think it's more coincidence than anything else.
That's a hell of a coincidence, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I can't get down on that. Like,
let me get. We got 99 people, 100 people in there. Let's hit them likes. Let's get this going. We have, you know, great guests on the show. Let's get in this. Wow, Cedric, what's up? You ain't say anything.
Yeah, man.
Just
shout out
speechless,
Cedric,
King.
Yeah.
I'm speechless, King. Fantastic stuff, King. Go ahead, King.
Bring it back to Ian. Go ahead.
Yeah. My question, like, it's like, I mean, Sony getting on board is good for next generation. Crossplay is good for everybody. Yes. Shawn Layden's departure may have been one of those things that finally just needed to happen. If that may have been one of those things that, I mean, that's like, Shawn Layden's always been like, you seems like a reasonable guy, but it's like, if those things happened that quickly, that is something to be said for that. But my question actually comes back to PlayStation Now, Game Pass, and these types of things. When you talk about, and this is just like a whole ball of wax for another day, I'm sure, but when I sit there and I play Gears of War for $2, or, you know, I get PlayStation Now and I get it for $9.99, I can play Gears of War. I always wonder about like the cost of video games, because we were talking about nostalgically, like N64 games were like $70 or $80. They were a point where they were really expensive. Where does everyone end up valuing video games when everybody has this like subscription model to it? I always wonder like how the developers are able to make money, or what these agreements behind the scenes are. What are the finances of Game Pass? I'd really be curious to see like how Game Pass works, how that's distributed, like how all that works. I always wonder where that's going to go. That's just a big question in my mind, because all this stuff always brings up like the value of a game. Because when I play something for $2 or $10, how does that make me value a $60 game anywhere? Like they cost more to make now than they ever have, and they're cheaper now than they ever have, and it's just weird.
And I think those questions are going to get answered while we transition into this next generation.
That's what I feel too. I think it's one of those things that, again, I'll jump in real quick, and I know I've got to get the rest of the Lords in, is that at this point, the vibe I'm getting from both is they want to lock people into their ecosystem at all costs. And at the initial maybe short end sacrifice of a Gears 5 as a, you know what I'm saying, $60 game. I mean, we got like now PlayStation Now doing God of War in there. They're doing, you know, Grand Theft Auto 5, you know, some real exclusives inside this service. So the vibe I'm getting with cloud streaming and all this stuff is that they're trying to get you locked in, so that once you're locked into the ecosystem, coming to the next generation, whether streaming takes off or not, you know what I'm saying, they can funnel out the content. Because I guess the way I feel they look at it is they'll rather have your reoccurring $15 to $20 or whatever it is per month than the option of maybe you buy the $60 game or maybe you not. So it goes from the millions to the billions, right? And then you go from the billions to people in regions that, let's be honest, like, you know, Japan, they're more in the mobile market. You see Microsoft doing what they're doing with China, with SK Telecom and those kind of deals. They are concerned about that mobile market and people who would never traditionally buy a console. So that's more gaming. So I think the vibe, is maybe the long play. And maybe financially, if the books get uncovered, we see like right now they're taking a short-term loss. Who knows? But I think that's what it seems, you know, the vibe is so far. Let's get Sov in as well.
Well, if you look at Sony jumping into this, right, and you wonder, what do they have to gain when they're selling 10, 12, 15 million copies of their number one franchises, right? What do they have to gain? At the end of the day, though, if you look at 6 months away from launch of any one of these games, those games are selling for half the price, if not less than that, right? Physical copies, right? What if you buy? So the thinking is, if you get a subscription model for your PlayStation ecosystem and you're paying $10 a month and to have access to all these games, which is another thing we haven't said yet. They put first party games in there. They have yet to say they're going to put a first party game day and date launching on there.
That will be for a while, but I do think it's eventually going to happen.
And
I think eventually it'll happen.
Right, and they said limited time right now, right? There's a limited
Right, it's only up until January. That's another thing. They're actually removing their first party games from the service or rotating them in and out, which is weird. I would say just keep them in there. But for me, I think if in the long term, if you're going to continue to make money off these single player experiences, I don't care how great they are, you're going to play them once, you're going to play them maybe twice, and then you're not playing them again.
Right.
The moment you get that platinum, you selling
you're
that.
done.
Like
you're done. Honestly, you're done. So it's one of those things. How do you continue to make money off what is their biggest strength? And I think it'll continue to be the biggest strength is a single player experience. That'll continue to be that. So I think it makes a lot of sense for them to go this route and then obviously build on some sort of multiplayer that people have been asking for. Look, we need strength in this area. It's coming.
Right.
So it's absolutely something that I think I'm glad it's happening. The stuff that's happening behind the scenes at Sony, I really do think that Shawn Layden, for whatever reason, he was not happy about where things are going, and you got demoted. Honestly, you got demoted, and you can cut that any which way you want.
Right.
I wouldn't be happy if I got demoted.
You know what I kind of want to bring up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Shawn Layden, we would say he's a dude that leaves, and it could seriously impact things. Can we not agree?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's a question I have.
Why is it that when that dude left from
Halo.
from 343, no one really like. Why is it that wasn't an issue? That was a huge issue. But when people leaving Shawn Layden, people ain't really. No, let's be real here. Let's
you
keep
want
it
me to
100.
answer?
No. I'm laughing because you went to 0 for 100.
You want me to answer
face
that
of the
question
brand,
for you?
the face of the brand to the creative director of a game.
You want me to?
No, but let's keep the same energy.
I know why we keep the same energy when they're apples and oranges.
It's not apples and oranges. We're talking about huge entity people that can possibly influence a brand, and no one's acting like this is an issue.
According to you, he wasn't huge.
Oh my God!
Sovereign. To Addict's defense, and I will always jump to his defense on that thing is when Microsoft stubs their toe, it's a huge problem.
Sure.
Sony can fracture their arm, lose a limb. And it's like, well, those things happen, in a company, in the day-to-day process, those things go down.
Where's the countless articles? Where are the countless articles? Well, I might be worried about Sony's direction. Where is Sony going to go now?
Dude, I'm seeing the thumbnails right now of people disappointed and scared.
Is somebody saying they're not going to buy a PlayStation 5 because of this?
Yeah, that's not happening.
Exactly. Had you woke up tomorrow and Phil is gone, y'all definitely gonna say Microsoft is in the It's a done deal, son.
Addict's comparing it to the creative director of Halo.
It's referring to. Never mind. We're not going to agree with this. We're not going to agree with this.
Phil Spencer's are different, though.
This is why. See, what Addict is trying to say is Microsoft's head of 343 when he left. Everybody had this big uproar, right? And he's what Attic is saying. He's not as big as Mr. Layden.
Right.
You understand? And he's trying to figure out where the hell is all that energy, all that anger, all that furor. Where is all that for this?
Remember the conversation around the Halo thing, right? We said Halo Infinite is the most important game coming into next generation for the success of the new Xbox platform, right? It's launching day and date. It is super important, more than
this is the dude that arguably is the reason the PlayStation is where it is.
And this is what I'm saying. Attic is telling you the truth. That's the truth right there. He just said this man is integral to going into launching a new platform, and he is out the door. And then all the philosophies change.
at the end of the day, if it needed to happen, now is the best time.
But is that not troublesome?
Not
Do you
really.
get
I mean,
trepidation going into the next situation?
Are we nervous
That's my question,
are we nervous about Cyberpunk? Because they lost a creative director.
But no, I hear what you're saying. But this is what I want to pose. Hold on, y'all. I don't want to jump Saul, but I do want to ask Saul a question. I guess where my concern, I guess my little, red light, fraud light, or whatever it is, goes off is just that we've heard Jack Trenton, Nick Sutter, Adam Boyce, Andy House.
That's a real concern.
He's Shawn Layden. So my own, again, is it, the house is on fire completely? I don't know. But again, to King,
I just don't see the same energy, man. I just don't see the same energy at all.
I'm just concerned.
We're talking about a whole company
generation
versus a studio.
Right. I'm just
Now,
concerned.
this I will say,
with
I will
all these departures. That's
Right.
all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
This I will say. I think Sony, above Microsoft and above Nintendo, is devaluing that face of the brand thing. More and more. Because nobody was really like Trenton, right?
Right.
Nobody was really like Trenton.
Right.
Okay.
A boy, Shuhei Yoshida had it for a while, and they just put him in the back, but they said go away for whatever reason.
Let me play devil's advocate. Let me reverse it. What departure would get you concerned? What would have to happen that you would wake up and you look at Sony differently? Because I think that's kind of where Addict and King are going. Because they're again.
I just get tired of people sitting there every time you make any kind of allegation, every time you make any kind of example, people are like, "Oh no, that's not going to happen. This isn't going to happen." People say, PS now they're going to put first party in there. Oh, that's not going to happen. They put first party in there. People act like they never said any of that stuff. My people attacked the campaign for Gears 5 for months, and you didn't see none of those videos saying, I was wrong. It was a good campaign. None of that stuff. I'm tired of it. I really and truly am.
We know how you feel about media bias. Let's all finish.
The thing about it is that when, just like King said, when Layden left, everything fell into place, right? so they knew exactly where they wanted to go. Let's say all of that.
But how do
right?
we know what they know? Are you in the boardrooms?
But what I'm saying is that when he left, there were definitive decisions made about the where PlayStation is going. Definitive decisions. This is not something that we're hearing. Oh, everything is up in the air. We don't know.
But we don't know.
You're not getting
can't
that.
Make allegations that you don't know.
Addict Solve is right.
But same way you can't make allegations that you do know. And
we know he left. That's not an allegation. He left.
The only thing I would say that it's spooky the way he left. The way he left is spooky. Right. Did it leave me feeling like PlayStation is in shambles? No.
Why not? See, this is my energy.
Because they immediately said we're doing this. They immediately said we're doing A, B, and C.
Okay.
So the whole thing is if there's no direction moving forward after this happened,
you know what's cool? You know what's funny, King? Microsoft buys 5 studios, and they showed allegations. They show the direction of the studios, what they're going to be doing, and that we need to see these games first. Well, all they say is we're doing streaming stuff, and what Sony's done.
Has Microsoft had a God of War or a Last of Us?
Oh my God, we're literally going to give them the pass for everything.
Wait, you said Microsoft has
hold on, we got some.
Wait a second, bro.
Sometimes
I get so tired of this shit, man. I get so tired of people reacting like because they make God of War, nothing can go wrong.
I don't know where you pull your comparisons from. You need a new comparison book, bro.
You, my friend, need to stop giving them passes just because they make God of War.
Nobody's giving anybody a pass. It's just
dude, you literally just said have they made God of War? No, then shut up.
Bring it down.
Bring it down.
We got some super chat. The reason why we're not
super chat. Then I get BadBit and Solve again. Stitch with the $5 super chat. Microtransaction. That's how you free games you spend in the game. This is one of the reasons why I think Game Pass makes more money for the devs. Okay. BadBit, Solve, on the rebuttal. We got to keep it cool.
I want to get on the end of that.
Okay.
So one of the things how devs make money off Game Pass is the deals that are being had. It's one of the comparisons I made on the trophy room this week. For example, Epic Games paid for exclusive marketing rights, or not marketing rights, but exclusive to the Epic Games Store. Right. They paid $10 million for that. Right. So we can assume that Xbox Game Pass is giving monies to these developers to have some type of exclusivity.
$19 million for Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah. So devs are making money on these games, and that's fine. You know, when it comes to why are we not panicked yet?
Yes.
Because we haven't because there's no reason to. Once we see the mess ups starting to happen, that's when we start getting concerned. Like no one was concerned about the Xbox One X in all their games.
I'm gonna give you a
we got to
scenario.
the Xbox One launch, right? And then they tripped and fell down that mountain.
Right.
Once Jim Ryan trips on that shrub, then we'll start.
So right now, what you're saying is the cachet is so high right now, right?
Exactly.
That until you see
people on that Sony suit, Jesus, man. Like they really are.
Yo,
Like they're on that Sony
to
suit.
give you
As they gave us God of War last, they can't do nothing.
That makes me laugh. Right. The thing that makes me laugh is that you're saying, okay, look. So
you're
you have
saying
no reason
because
to be.
they've made games like God of War, Last of Us, it's almost impossible then for them to mess anything
Who
up.
said that? You put a million words in my mouth.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
Yo, Attic, you're the worst debater ever.
You know what? I'm just gonna use the mic.
You're the worst debater.
All right.
No
So who's
Let's
next?
Saul finish his point though. He got to finish, and then King can come in.
Okay.
So what we've been saying is that since Layden is gone, they've copied whatever, they followed suit with what Microsoft is doing. That we've all agreed is the way to go. So now you're saying they're in trouble because they're following what we agreed is the way to go. Do you understand? Like, if they continue to fight against that, and somehow that's not what they're doing, then I'd be worried. But again, the moment he walks out the door, and I'm not saying this is the reason, but the moment he walks out the door, all of these things that we said should happen a long time ago happened.
Yo, boss move. Talk that talk, Psalm. Jonathan B. Attic is definitely on to something. Dizzy, Attic's emotional. Continue, King.
All right. So you guys said you're not worried. If we're all sitting in an office structure and we're in our cubicles and I see people get up leaving one by one, you think I'm going to be the last person sitting in that damn room waiting for the building to fall down or a fire to happen or some contagion to go through? No, you understand when the first person gets up, my antenna is up. So I'm looking like, what's going on?
I mean, are we concerned?
It's not like layoffs. It's one person.
Yeah. I mean, are we concerned about Nintendo because they got?
I'm terribly concerned about Nintendo. I'm terribly concerned, sir.
Here's the question I posed to E, and you making a good. I know where you guys are going, and I get both sides of this. This is really interesting.
Yeah.
The thing is, I guess where I struggle a little bit is we know how dominant they've been, we know how successful they've been, but at the same time, they are now prepping for the start of a new generation, right? We are hearing rumors from developers saying that we are extremely nervous. We have not gotten dev kits. You know what I'm saying? So there is some effect of this internal struggle or whatever it is that's going on behind the scenes, that it is having an effect on the development of PlayStation 5. We've seen the Game Biz articles. They're like, yo, we are very concerned. Now, to your defense, Solve, yes, there's a direction immediately after Layden, services, cloud. Okay, I get that. But I think to King's defense, it's like, when PlayStation 5 launches, right, how are we going to look at them if, like I said, this thing continues, right? If we keep hearing more kind of stuff like this, or just in general, like I guess to your point is you guys just want to wait until there's no quality games. Like, I guess when is that moment of fear? When is that moment for the diehards to say, yo, this don't look right?
Listen,
that's what I'm concerned.
Their whole
I'm not a diehard.
philosophy.
So
Listen,
I know.
It's not. They gave us God of War. They can't do anything.
listen,
Shut up, Attic.
listen. Their whole
gamers. Yeah.
Their whole philosophy is now in line with the people. Well, this is for the fanboys. Your whole philosophy now is the console that you don't like. Your whole philosophy right now is Microsoft's philosophy. You have did a 180, sir, and flipped to the other side now.
Well,
now you want to do put your first party games in your service. Now you want to cross play. Now you want to do all these things that y'all raged about and fought about and screamed about and yelled about. Y'all even actually have service from Microsoft. At what point in time are you going to put that X on your box and stop calling it a PlayStation?
But yeah, like that's a crazy thing that I talked about earlier. Is like a lot of what the original Xbox's message was. eventually happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
Yeah.
it was that they were correct of where the future was, but they wanted the future right now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
We going on with this. I'll finish up.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, the keys, they're to Jim Ryan now. You know what I'm saying? So he got, if rumors are true, he got showing up out of there. You know what I'm saying?
He's an
sitting on
Xbox
it.
sympathizer. We like him.
Xbox
We welcome his vision. His vision is
Why
in
you
line
gotta
with
act
how
like,
we
you know what
see it.
kick makes me laugh? Like,
Oh,
Phil is
Phil
making
Dominus
planks and he's got
Maximus
people in there.
Aurelius Spinsa. When the Aurelius comes? The Aurelius comes when the next generation launches and that Game Pass is on that PlayStation, and that's when I do this.
oh, dude, when Game Pass comes, it's gonna be great.
Yes,
Listen,
I think it's a matter of time.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah, look, it's in Ryan's hands. We got to see what's going to happen. You know, if these moves end up being the right moves. At the end of the day, my only beef for Ryan is kind of like BadBit said. In the past, he has made statements that made me roll my eyes. You know, about not like valuing who wants backward compatibility. That kind of was that got on my
I don't
nerves.
know that that's the dude you want to have out there on a stage talking about stuff. I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know. We got to get, in fairness, we got to give him his thing. But yeah, there's some questionable things there.
Yeah.
You know, the thing.
I like his move so far, though.
I know you like.
I mean, his moves, his day one moves, like when he sat in the chair, he's like, okay. So what we're gonna do here is, you guys can play with you guys, and cut half price on that PlayStation Now. That's a little bit too much, bro. That's a little bit too much. Put God of War in there. Let's sell this thing. Let's go, baby. I'm
man,
with
look.
this dude. He likes to party. I like
All I'm
this
going to
dude.
say, and I've had this conversation with Addict, and I've had it with a couple of people. Shout out to Lord Fonz already. Look, I've been around the block, man, and you know, all I'm going to say is I've seen consoles have generations where they've seen almost invincible. You know, Sega had their run, Nintendo for many generations have their run. Again, I'm not implying that because of this happening that this is end of Sony's run. That's not where I'm going. But I am concerned about them starting a new generation. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, here's the deal. Phil and Microsoft's coming out hard at the start for Scarlet. You know what I'm saying? We know they're launching, you know what I'm saying, day and date with Halo Infinite, and that's going to be announced and stuff like that. We see them pushing the acquisitions, the Game Pass, you know what I'm saying, the services, xCloud, all that stuff. And let's keep it real. Even Sony had to partner with Microsoft on the Azure server stuff on the back end. So I guess, you know, my thing is, I wonder, you know what I'm saying, if he had any influence on it as far as Jim Ryan, you know what I'm saying, as far as influence him to go on that streaming landscape. I'm very interested in his influence. You know what I'm saying? Being that now things are going in that direction, because let's be real, gamers scoffed at Phil and Microsoft for going in this direction. They were like, this is not the future of gaming. People were like, streaming, no, I don't want no parts of this. And now we're seeing Sony being aggressive and even competitive in this space. So at the end of the day, every generation is a clean slate. That's how I look at it. And we have to see what's going to happen. Brand loyalty is one thing, but I know this about gamers. And BadBit is an attest to this. Gamers are not loyal. If you continue to mess, I'm saying not continue, but if a console messes up, we've seen it with the Xbox One, right? Yeah. You know, and if the competition has bomb games, quality games, and it's just, people make decisions, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, like listening, you know, and one thing I will give Ryan this, the same statement BadBit made, which is the statement about the incumbent platform, right? There's no guarantee that historically, the incumbent platform has not generally done well. So for him to get out in front of that, actually, I think is a good sign for Sony. You know what I'm saying? Let's just see going forward what happens, man. But I do feel clean slate. Let's just see how this thing plays out.
Yes, sir.
That's what I got.
We got a $5 super chat from Philly Eagle. Shout out to Philly Eagle, $5 super chat. I play on Xbox only. Guess what? PS is dope. Nintendo's dope. They just aren't my choice. Fanboyism is funny, but it's annoying. Play what you want. #fun.
Yeah,
That's the realest statement ever. Shout out to Philly. You guys real. So, yeah, man. And then I am up now. Let's get this thing going. Last topic. Moon's haunted, y'all. The moon is haunted, y'all. Shadowkeep has launched. I know my bro Ebontis is still there. He stepped out for a minute. But yeah, man. So we just want to talk about that briefly as far as our impressions. what's going on. Sov, do you want to kick off as the resident Destiny expert?
No. Y'all gonna be surprised, man. Like,
What?
You played?
You're gonna be really surprised, man.
Hold on, this was a joke, and this is turning real good.
Everything that I've seen, I'm gonna be honest. I gotta admit, I hate Destiny.
Oh wow! Oh,
He set us up. He set
that
us
was,
up.
that was
Damn
good. That
you,
was
Sov.
wonderful. I like
That was a good one.
Hey, you got me.
You are
got
not
me.
onto something. You are not onto something, sir.
Yeah, you got me. You got me with that one. I was
Hold
sitting
on,
there. I had
Brad.
my mouth open.
Brad,
I was like,
Brad.
I ain't even seen him
Hold
play.
on,
He's doing this remotely.
Shout out. Grab with the file super chat. Gamers are loyal to games, and guess who has them? Smirk. We'll
For
see at the
sure.
start of the next generation.
Stadia.
Man. We'll see you start the next generation, man. At the end of the day, clean slate, Brap. We've been around the block long enough to know anything can happen. But anyway, Moon's Haunted. My boy Ebontis said, let's do some Last Word 2.0, brother. Let's get it, man. How you feeling? What's going on? We talked about it briefly, but now we got Vex Invasion. You know what I'm saying? We got a God of Salvation raid that has happened since the last word we did on Friday. You know, where's your feeling initially with Shadowkeep? And he's muted.
I am muted. You are correct. No, I've actually been really enjoying it so far. I think this is getting towards where Bungie has wanted to be for years. I think this is a step in the right direction for them to build a world that they can evolve, that can have changes, that can have evolution that goes through the game. I'm actually looking forward to what they've done with Armor 2.0, where they can go with weapons. Do I think it's perfect? No, I'll say it right now. There's plenty of flaws in it as well. But I have enjoyed the time that I've spent. I think the Black Garden raid is gorgeous. The encounters are a lot of fun. I spent a lot of time in there yesterday, so I got my feel for it. The encounters are fun. The encounters are really cool. You're moving a lot.
The Congo line, son. Remember the Congo line when you get the rope?
Oh yeah, you gotta get that little connection going on. Yeah, the line. So that one's pretty cool. Did a little bit of the Vex offensive. And that, I think, changes my feeling a bit of the Moon, because I was like, I didn't see any new public events, and now we have the Vex offensive.
Right,
so
which was your major issue on Last Word. Yes, continue.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, you didn't have public events. I mean, you don't have that many new weapon perks. You don't have raid-specific perks on the weapons, because I got 2 of them, and they're still just normal weapons. Oh, wow. I'm starting to see a little higher stat rolls on some of my gear. Is there
only one new strike?
There's 2.
Oh, what's
2 new strikes, but 2 new strikes. You've got 3 nightmare. You've got potentially 6 nightmare hunts, actually. 3 that we've seen this week.
What's the second strike?
Second strike's the Festering Core, I think. It's on IO. So you've got 2 new strikes. You've got a 3rd one from PlayStation. So, but some of us get to play a new strike, so we get 3.
Oh, do they still have exclusive bullcrap?
Nope, there are okay. So there's 0 exclusives.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, I think this is the nice thing for Bungie. It's like I could go on and on about ups and downs and things like that. I kind of be curious what you guys say, and then maybe I'll wrap my piece up at the end. But I think this is the level of communication and transparency we've seen from Luke Smith and Bungie about what they're going for. This is the vision they're trying to create, like an actual 4-year connected story arc where we see. Spoiler alert, I'm not going to talk about the spoiler, but we actually see something in the first mission that has been set up for years.
Yes.
I like the potential of what all this brings. And as some people have said, it's chapter 1 of what they actually wanted to probably start with. And I think this is their time to truly do it on their own. Do I think it is a flawless launch? No. Right. I mean, the servers, they had way too much crap to do on the first day. 4 hours actually wasn't too bad. Stuff's going to happen. So be it.
Yeah.
But on the other side,
I had before the podcast, I actually had a server limitation. I had to wait like 10-15 minutes to get in.
No doubt. No, man, I hear what you're saying. We'll double back with E after everyone.
Yeah, you guys go. I got plenty.
A quick question.
Generally positive.
A quick question I have for all you guys. Since the Activision divorce, I know obviously Activision had certain influences that were negative on the game, but obviously that checkbook was big. Do you see anything diminished in terms of quality that you could attribute to the big wallet of Activision that is missing now, or do they sort of break things down in a way that's kind of more doable for them as opposed to when they were with Activision?
I'll let you answer.
I mean, from what I've seen, They've tried so many different models with this over the years. You had the expansions in Destiny 1, you had Taken King, and then you had a big lull. Then you had Rise of Iron, and then you had the big lull. Then they had the smaller expansions with D2, kind of like they had in the first year. Then they've tried the annual pass, and now they're kind of doing a connected annual pass, smaller expansions, but continued changing arcs. it's kind of hard to compare some of those. I don't think I've seen a drop in quality by any stretch. I mean, you go through that raid, you see the Vex Garden Offensive, you see the way some of these things have been going. I think they can continue the pace, but I do think some of the scale will probably be varied in places where it's there could be a smaller season here because they can't throw the other season to another studio from Activision. That stuff could be smaller because they're still working internally, and they're very big about not putting their devs under crunch. They're going to play within their limits. So, I mean, there may be smaller pieces here. I think this is a pretty decent launch, especially for a $35 price. You get a lot of things for a $35 price by comparison to many other things. So you've got a lot of content to play. And then if you add the 4 other seasons on top of that for $25, or you get them separately for $10, overall, I think you've got a lot of content, a fair amount of content easily, and then plenty more for those who really enjoy it. And my bigger hope is that the story continues to connect and build, and that's going to add on top. So generally, I don't think Bungie is going to miss Activision because we've got crossplay now, which is huge. And that's one of those things that didn't happen because of capital R reasons, however you want to phrase that, but that's in the VIDOC. And I think generally when it comes to like not having somebody behind them, they're free to make choices. They may fall on their face, but they can choose to adapt faster as opposed to, launching something a little bit later or changing this up here. They just have more flexibility and
with red tape. Yeah.
So that's off. Long-winded answer. I think it will be a positive thing. Things may be a little smaller, a little slower, but it will be of their choice and their volition to make the mistakes they make.
And ultimately make that just the fact that it's them and that's it. Yep. I think makes the game all the better.
I got a question for you guys because I'm too lazy to use Google. I bought Shadowkeep on PlayStation 4, right? No.
It won't carry over.
It won't carry over. Like if I wanted to play with my friend on PC, Shadowkeep isn't going to carry over.
Shadowkeep won't carry over. You can go to the moon. You could run around with them on the moon. But if you want to go do the raid, if you want to go to the Vex Offensive, like the season. So if you buy the season pass,
Undying season will carry over. That's all.
Yeah, the Undying season pass will carry. But Shadowkeep, like in-game stuff, will not.
Right.
Interesting. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, to double up on Saul's point, I think you just see more of a transparency, I feel, more than ever before. Now that Activision's influence is there, we clearly don't see exclusive 1-year content deals anymore.
Oh my God.
Which I am extremely happy about. Shout out to Colton.
Yep.
But yeah, man, that's what I got. That's what I got. Let's get everybody in, man. Lord Addict, man. We've been rocking. Shout out to Def Sing in the chat. We was all rocking. We doing that Garden of Salvation. But overall, man, what's your feeling? You're very, very passionate Destiny player, clan member. So where you at with Shadowkeep?
I think as of right now, because I think Destiny's a good spot. Now, I can't speak for the future because Bungie has a habit of making really good decisions and then making 5 really bad decisions. So I have to see, maybe since they don't have Activision tethered to them, they can continue to make good decisions and not make bad decisions. Because I have a feeling some of the bad decisions they did make was influenced by Activision. One thing I will say, I'm guilty myself for complaining that Bungie keeps reamping old content from D1 and just reselling it to us in D2. There is a lot of that in this. There is a lot of that in this, but they did it in a way that I'm okay with. I didn't mind it because instead of selling us, oh, here's a gun that you really liked in D1. It's part of this expansion. Well, man, I want that gun. I got to buy the expansion. Right. They didn't do that. They're like, look, like we're going to tell you a good narrative focus in a way that gives you this old content and you can relive it. You don't just see it, you relive it. So I really enjoyed that. I think this is the only time I've ever said I was okay with the way that they did it.
No Russian is going in. He said Stockholm Syndrome, Destiny story is somewhere buried in a PDF. He was like, oh, he going in.
Notice how the viewership dropped 20 views.
But let me get King because I heard some grumbling. I heard some dissatisfaction.
The moon again. It looked like the same moon I left on Destiny 1.
It really does. Like there's not a lot of difference between them.
Same thing. Just a little bit res here, a little bit res there. Content story. We all beg for story and content, right? So we got it. when are we gonna be outraged with them not giving us new places and giving us the same places? I mean, we can sit there, we can champion the things that they should have did right. Listen, they made the decision to go work with Activision. They understood they was making a deal with the devil. That's their problem. Right. But at the same point in time, we have to pay for their sins. And again, we're paying literally out of our pockets again for content that we should have had from the beginning. So we got to wait for them to get it right for us to be right with them. Now, like you said, Stockholm Syndrome. Yes, we're beat down by these dudes. We love them. All right. Don't get it wrong. When you pick up Destiny, you understand the gunplay. The gunplay is phenomenal. And the way that they switched up the gear set and all that other stuff, I agree with everything in line of what they're doing right now. The problem is you did this before, bro. You took it away. Now you're giving it back, and I'm supposed to be happy that you gave me back something that I paid for before?
And
like, I don't understand it.
Regardless of me and King have different opinions on it, he has every right to feel that way.
Right to feel that way. Let me ask you.
No, I purchased. I'm in. I'm drinking the juice. I'm upset that I'm drinking the juice. I'm drinking the juice.
You drinking the juice begrudgingly?
Yes, you see my face, right? I'm drinking it like, I'm drinking it. But am I liking it though?
Nothing you said is wrong in any way. Like they do keep reselling this old content. They really do.
I want to get to different zones. I want to get to different parts of the galaxy. I don't want them to say, you know what?
I mean, if you think about it, the first DLC was Trials of the Osiris thing. That was literally just bringing back Mercury in a different way. The second one was bringing back Mars in a different way.
And then you see the place, and then because when I said Shadowkeep, I was like, hey, all right, we're gonna do this. Because you know what, listen, let me tell you something, guys. And I'm not blowing smoke up you two guys' butts. I'm not doing it. But I do really enjoy the last word. Now, for a couple of weeks leading up to Shadowkeep, I had to mute you dudes.
We're too spoiler heavy.
Right, I'm one of those guys that like to play. I like to,
experience. You don't want to know,
I don't. You see me. I'm in the chat and I'm trying to play my game. I'm muting you guys. I don't want to listen to you guys when I'm listening to the story. When I'm trying to be engrossed in this thing that I love. So I'm trying to experience it. But if you guys wanted to know the ins and outs, the ups and downs, everything new, these guys had that information for a minute. And they've been telling you that this was this and this was going to happen. So had I listened to the last word, this is my own fraudery. I could throw the light on my if I would have listened to him, I would have known that was going to be a moon.
You know, another thing that I'm a little upset with right now that I just thought about because King brought it up. Like beside IO, when the game came out, IO actually had content on IO, But where's the Titan love? Like, I feel like they can make nice raids with the water mechanics in Titan. Like, they haven't done nothing with that planet.
Oh, the planet. I see what you're saying. You're talking about the planet. Okay, I got you. Now, I just want to ask King before I get to BadBit. I want to ask King a question. As I know we're talking about this Stockholm stuff, and my question to you: does the announcement of free-to-play affect that thought process? With the fact that they have now said, you know what, for people who have not played Destiny, we're giving you this thing free, and does that soften that? Does that not change your opinion as far as maybe some recycling regurgitation?
It's time to come over here and drink the Kool-Aid bit. Let's go.
Super upset for the first day. The first day I thought they were trying to juggle too many balls. Pause. Right? I thought that they had too many hands all over the place. You had the free to play, you had the cross play, you had the cross progression, you had all this stuff that was going on at one time, and then you was launching Shadowkeep, and you had everybody trying to get on. When I get booted out of the game and I come back to the game and it tells me I'm in the queue for 8,000, I really had to stop.
I agree. They should have launched New Light like 2 weeks early.
Right. So all right. So now you got these blueberries in here and they're loving it and they're figuring it out. I think it was necessary in Destiny's progression to have vanilla Destiny as a free to play game to get these people into the ecosystem, because when something is free to play, then there's no barrier for you unless you're on PlayStation and you need their network in order to play. Anyway, but like I was saying, I'm gonna dig it till you get it right. Pause. All right, but you had the store, so you're able to purchase things through the store, and it made the store viable, so they can still get their money from buying things in the store. And actually now when you go to finishers and things like that in the store and different skins, I see the store as how it should have been.
Right.
I see it evolve, and it changed to the point where somebody told me if I had a gear set before, I can actually get that gear set back and change it to have it how I want to wear it. So again, I see the evolution in Destiny. I see the progression in Destiny, but I also see the regression in the fact that I'm doing what I should have been doing from before.
Okay.
We know why. Because we're apologists for something that we love. Had it been something that we didn't love, we would not stand for this.
Shout out to Grounded Gamer Lord Fonz from RDX for the $2 super chat. Can they give us better looking armor though? Trash. That's how Fonz feels about the armor. Lord BadBit, man, what's your experience real quick? Did you get a chance to play where you at with Shadowkeep?
Yeah, so again, came in with the original Destiny. Dinklebot is like right above me over there. I have a love-hate relationship with Destiny. I want to love this thing so bad, but like Addict's right. For the first time in how long? How many hours? He's right though. It's like they make one decision that's fantastic, and then they'll find the mountain to fall. Like they'll just start doing the tumbles. And yeah, so with Destiny 2, with all the microtransactions, I hate how the shaders still work. I fell off.
I feel like we do need to bring that up. Those microtransactions are crazy.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
What part?
Have you seen the prices on some of these things? Like, it's insane.
For cosmetics?
Well, they don't force you to purchase anything. You can purchase if you like.
But still, I feel like some of these, they need to be in the RNG some way. Like,
no.
It's crazy.
No. My thing is, you can earn it, by getting the little light things or whatever you need.
No, some of these are only in the test system.
And this is what I'm going to say. If you want it, you can purchase it. This is not nothing that affects gameplay. Right. This is something that affects your vanity. Right. So if your vanity or your feel to have that Pokemon syndrome, like some people have, they got to have it all. You're in trouble.
But we're talking about something that's still a full price game. Like they still charge for these seasons. They charge for they're going to charge $60 for Destiny 3.
But Addict, in their defense,
so I got to buy the game, and then I got to buy the season, and then I got to buy every cosmetic in the game. Like
you don't have to buy any cosmetic.
You don't, but if you want it, you do.
And that's your wants. That's a problem with you.
I still feel. I still feel like there's too much money exchanging going on here. Where are they going to do stuff for us? Like, no. Look, I'm not saying that they need to have it needs to be. Oh, you do a Nightfall, you get 3 or 4. I'm saying some of this stuff in some way need to be in the RNG.
Okay, so basically you feeling that.
Look, you do the Nightfall. I'm not even saying it needs to be high. I'm saying you do the Nightfall, do the hardest events, you have that Gallahorn chance of getting stuff. Because it's just and not only that would help promote it, because Cognito is a huge cosmetic person. I'm not. I don't care nothing about all that stuff. So when I'm rocking that hot stuff, because I got it in the Nightfall. Cognito's like, I ain't doing that. Where is it in the shop?
Listen, how you gonna do me like that? How you gonna do me as the modest, the close dude that don't do hard?
Okay? No, let's be real here.
How you gonna do me like that, fam?
Cognito? Let's be real.
Man,
you see me wearing something hot.
We not doing this.
If you see me wearing something hot and it's in that store right now, you going there?
Right, that's my option. That's my choice.
Then that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but let's not act like the kid they go through the raid and
we ain't saying that. I was saying people have impulse buys that would see something that's on there. It doesn't even. I could have bought it, and you still would have bought it.
It's not affecting gameplay. This is cosmetic. Yep. Our main issue with microtransactions are when they are forced upon you with loot boxes and all this egregious stuff that affects gameplay, where you gotta buy this to shorten your time on something or to get past a level like Shadow War. You know, all these games have done things as gameplay. This is, if you want a cute little
But
outfit, go buy
I
it.
get that. I get that. At the same time, let's look at a game like Overwatch.
Right.
Overwatch, they obviously have the loot crate system, but all of that stuff is in there. Like, I feel like if you're paying full price, and it's not like this is a free to play game. It's not.
Right. So your issue is
could be if you want to be.
Right, yeah, that's true. Your issue is that there are items.
But at the end of the day,
Ebontis,
if you download the free to play game, do you get the whole game? No, you have to buy Forsaken. You have to buy Shadowkeep.
I think you can answer that. It's those questions we were asking earlier, right? Of like, what do I get out of what is now not like $60 for a game is not full price anymore. You know what I mean? Like we have a free to play versions of games like Fortnite that's offering the same amount of value for players that games like Destiny.
It's not even really like I'm condemning the game or anything like that, because I really don't care about cosmetics. I'm just saying from a standpoint of someone that goes out and buys the season pass, goes out and buy the games. It's kind of ridiculous that they want $20 for 3 emotes.
I want you to respond. I see you chopping.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have, for one, a studio that's completely independent.
Thank you.
Their status is not relevant to this conversation.
It's
relevant to their financials, but
actually,
the fact that they're still selling the game is not relevant.
How they exist. Continue.
No, all I want to say is, like, you buy the game, you get content, you have ornaments that you can earn, you have things that you can buy. Everything that is in that transaction store is optional. King said it, Cognito said it. We've all said that it is optional. If I get a gun, it's still going to function. I can get different guns. There's guns that drop from the Vex Offensive that have leaves all over them. They look completely different than everything else. That is all in there. But when you go into and you're like, hey, this weapon has an optional look to it, and this is where you have to make that choice. They are giving the option for people who want to either support Bungie, want to put a little more behind that game that they like, or somebody who just has that conviction of like, hey, this thing looks hot. I'm going to drop $5 on it, $10 on it. Cool. The nice thing about this at this point is that goes straight to Bungie.
Right.
So you're actually fully supporting that developer more than you were doing before. Right. And on top of that, you're also basically saying, hey, if I want to look cool, I can, but you do not have to. It does not change anything. Nothing in Eververse changes the game.
Yeah. To me, it also, like, with Gears of War right now, they're having a whole monetization issue. Right. I like what Rob Ferguson said, is it's like, listen, guys, we're still working this out. We get it. We're going to change some things. So, like, for me, the thing that I like about the Destiny microtransactions, and trust me, I hate microtransactions to death, is that they're not behind loot boxes. If I just want that one thing,
it's a direct purchase.
It's a direct purchase. Yeah. And to me, the only issue
I can't play Overwatch and say, hey, I want this thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I gotta buy the loot box, roll the dice, big money, no whammies, and then hope that, you know what I'm saying, the joint is gonna come. That's the difference. That's promoting gambling. That's the big issue. This is literally supporting what you want. Shout out to Grounded Gamer for being petty. Nothing hot in that store, so why you tripping with the $2 super chat? Continue.
There is an armor set for my Titan in there. I'm so tempted to buy it. It's not even funny. I haven't bought it yet, but honestly,
if you want to buy it,
that's me. That's me. It's like, do I want to spend the money because I want to have these ornaments that I want to throw on my armor, and I can use them at any point? This is again the best state it's been, because I can throw that armor on any set that I get, which is the best part. It's got the most use that it's ever had. So again, you may have cosmetics that are an option, and that is truly where you have to decide. It is your choice. Now, I know Philly Eagle, you said out there you miss earning stuff in games. There are some legit sets that you can earn from. The raid set looks awesome. You've got like the really cool blue glows, and you've got different ones. Do I wish there were more sets that you could earn from, like Nightfall Strikes and there was exclusive armor in there? Yes, I wish some of those things would come back. Again, I never said the game was perfect, but I do think the Eververse is probably in the best state that it's been, because they're trying to find a way to support themselves in their game. They're giving you an option of pretty much cosmetics for weapons, skins for armor, skins for weapons. You've got sparrows, ships, shaders, all that stuff. If you want flair, if you want that Dominus bling on your head, You can do it, but you don't have to.
Shout
and I
out
think
to
that's the
Daniel
biggest
B
thing.
for coming at us. He said, defending microtransactions, hashtag you hate to see it. He coming at us, son. He coming at us. Yo, I like that shot, son. I like that. Listen, man.
That's right.
It's optional, brother. It's optional.
It's
That's all I'm
completely
saying.
optional. I would say if you can only get this gun from the Eververse store, and then the gun is OP, and it actually affects how you play the game.
Right.
I can see that being an outcry. I can see you going crazy. But if it's just a skin that you can do without, then this boils down to vanity. This boils down to you wanting your character to look totally different from somebody else and legit. You want to flaunt how much money you have in your bank account to show that you can change your character. I have done this on other games. I have went out and purchased, Assassin's Creed Origins. I went out and I've purchased stuff from that game just to have the hot horse that was from hell, and did it. And I took pictures and I put it online. I'm like, look at me. And Chris was like, how the hell did you do that? Where did that come from? I purchased it, sir, because it was there, and I did it out of vanity for myself. It had nothing to do. It had nothing to do with anything. It was just me being vain.
Now,
so
can I be petty? Can I be petty?
Yeah.
Now, shout out to Nintendo, Breath of the Wild, and the Amiibo.
Oh, they right there.
Because we have seen, I gotta defend Destiny now. We have seen if you purchase these Amiibos, there have been times where whole content has been locked behind the Amiibo.
Yes.
There has been time when I got a wolf in Breath of the Wild, thanks to King, that was assisting me through difficult content.
Yeah.
And I believe Metroid, one of them, like I said, they had content stuff like so. Again, that is where it gets funny, right? Now we're talking about, I got this new suit that I want. To me, that's different. That's like, this is something outside you that wants you that.
Did I change my energy? Did I say I'm against it? No, I'm against getting advantage. If they did have a gun that was inside that store that can actually have me kill you better, I'm going to buy the kill you better gun.
And that's where the only gray area for me is, because from what I'm aware of, there is an exotic in the season pass that you get for buying it, which looks dope, and it is dope, and it shoots like a.
You'll get it. You can get it for free.
Oh, you get it for free? That's awesome. So
you just get it quicker. That's it.
So walking into Destiny, Shadowkeep, I'm iffy on Destiny as a whole. From what they've I'm not a fan of the way the Destiny or Bungie has handled DLC almost ever. I think Taken King is the best expansion.
Yes, sir.
Ever, just hands down.
Welcome to Forsaken, though. Welcome to Forsaken. You
Forsaken, I got the story elements, and it was really good.
You got to play that. Continue.
The best part is getting in now, and if you're playing on Xbox or PC, well, I'm gonna have to be playing on my PC soon. We are there. The Iron Lords are there. We're there every day, and I'm really proud of the clan, guys. We had 50 players one day on. All at one time. That blew my mind, and I like to say thank you guys.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I still had an LFG for the raid.
Ain't nobody want to do no raid on first.
Everybody that like.
I saw you when you sent me that message the other day. I bypassed you because I knew you was gonna try to get me in that raid with you.
No, I really wasn't. I wasn't trying to get in the raid.
Yeah, but as a Destiny fan, I've really there are some things that trouble me. King, you're correct. Dude, I've been here before. This map is shot for shot Destiny 1. Now it's been a while, and so I'm kind of oh yeah, I remember this, remember that, but it does irk me a little bit. At the same stroke, though, there's a lot of content and a lot of missions that offer enough variety that I'm really down for. So walking into Destiny Shadowkeep, I just came back from Borderlands 2, and I was kind of done with that universe and whatever Randy Pitchford does at medieval times. And so entering into Destiny 2, the variety of these missions and all the bosses that I'm fighting, some of which I remember, Skolas and Kronos or whatever. Crota, awesome. And then there's some fights that I don't recognize or that they have a few differences to, and I'm I really like this. This is giving me a lot of challenge. And at the same exact time, I played the Red Keep strike. I'm gonna say dungeon because of World of Warcraft. Awesome. The aesthetic is awesome. Guns feel really good. So I'm still playing through the story of it.
Yep.
But I'm like, it's clicked for me.
Mhm.
I dig it. Now I need to find a raid group because the only platinum or the only thing I'm missing for that platinum is I need to complete the first raid on PS4. I completed it on PC. I completed it on PC, but I need to do it on PS4 for that plat.
Nice.
So Ebontis.
No doubt.
Oh yeah.
You already put the plug in.
Like,
Well, you kind of.
Oh, I'm on PC. I'm not helpful on console, but on PC,
Oh,
I'm helpful.
you're just you're in the heavens. You're in the heavens.
Alexa.
I like the pretty colors
Okay. and the frames. Salute,
and the
salute
frames and the field of view and the mouse and keyboard. Yes.
I agree with all you guys said. We got to roll, but yeah, tremendous. I understand all aspects here. I don't think none of you guys are really wrong. I think for the hardcore, it is a nostalgic trip down memory lane and kind of a vision of where we envision Destiny to be. Is it perfect? Like Ebontis said, no. There are definitely some issues we have with it. You know what I'm saying? You know, for me right now, the jury is still out. It's early, but from my opinion, with Garden of Salvation now, I have to play Vex Offensive though. But I will say it's up there. If I'm gonna rank it, I was gonna say this for last word on Friday, but if I'm gonna rank it right now, just emotionally off, it's definitely my thing. My top DLC, so to speak, is
Forsaken and Taken King. I'm sure number 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's 1 and 2.
I think mine. I like Taken King more.
Okay, I got Forsaken, but just for the narrative, they introduced. Well, Taken King didn't introduce the narrative. I just felt like Last Wish and it was just amazing. Shattered Throne was amazing. The whole season cycle. But anyway, so that's that. I think right now it's kind of in Rise of Iron mode, right? I gotta see a little. I don't know if I could put it above yet, but it's right there because I think that's like probably number 3 for me. You know what I'm saying? So
it's like the Microsoft thing. They're showing initiative, but we got to see it executed.
Yeah, we still have more to go. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we still have more to go, but I think right now it's battling for 3. Where are you at with this? What I can't find, bro. Let's get at it.
I mean, for me, it's been a really cool expansion. As I said, it set up a premise for a lot of things. The spoiler that we see sets up the potential for huge implications that they can take the story through.
Right.
I think we still have the dungeon to see.
Yes.
We still have these difficulties. Yeah, the dungeon is a huge one I'm waiting for. And then also we get to see their first attempt at a story arc when we get into the end of November with the final Vex Offensive push. Where that culminates, where it ends, and how the next Season of Dawn, actually ties into that.
Right.
So that whole arc is going to be something only time can tell.
Right.
Now, for me, like as Philly's saying, it's like, is there armor I wish that was earnable and not everything was in the Eververse? I wish still like Nightfall, like the Darkblade's helm, like for the Titan. Stuff like that, I wish there were things that you could earn. That would be legit. But I think the Eververse is in a really good spot. Do I wish more weapons had more perks on them and they introduced more perks and stuff in there? Some new mods to the weapons? Yes. But we keep getting new weapons. We get different feels of them and things like that. So again, the game still feels good. Right. At this point, we all want more. And this is, I think, their first step into it. So I think time is going to be one of those things that tells, but I think Bungie is on a good track from what I can see. As for me and ranking it,
early, just initially. I know it's not finished. We haven't got all the content. Just what your feeling is out of all your expansions. Where is it currently sitting?
I mean, it's probably hovering about the same as you. Forsaken's amazing. Taken King's amazing because that built on Crota, and Taken King's still might be one of my best raids. But those two are definitely up there. It's in that like battling for 3rd, 4th spot. I mean, it's right because those two still have the bar really high. Right. And depending on how this arc continues, it's going to hold itself, I think, pretty high up there as well, generally.
Right. Addict, you got any thoughts before we close out with the ranking?
Mine has to be Taken King, Shadowfall, and Forsaken.
Oh, you got so you have Shadowkeep above Forsaken. So what you've seen right now?
Yeah, the only issue I have with it is the Eververse. That's all. Like everything else, I absolutely enjoy.
Can I ask what you liked about Shadowkeep more than Forsaken?
Because I felt like Forsaken was introducing stuff, but it was just old stuff. Like they introduced the same things in this, but I feel like I actually see direction. Like obviously the ending showed me a direction. Like Forsaken, it did, but it didn't. I'm just like I want a new enemy faction in this game.
So
like
your whole thing. narrative cohesion, which is what Luke Smith has been preaching about what Shadowkeep, the new direction Bungie is going, which is
And it's
things
like we
lead
were
into
saying,
other things and affect other things, and the game world changes. That's what you really like about Shadowkeep.
Yeah, and it's like what we said where they had the intro to the raid, and you got to go talk to Ikora. Like they're doing more that we've been preaching for years.
No doubt.
They're building onto stuff and just didn't drop it on you.
Right. Not show up at a time when this. Fair enough, man. All right, let's get up out of here. Super long show. Thank everyone for rocking. New ILP poll is going up soon. With the recent internal shakeups and departures of PlayStation executives from Sony, how concerned are you for PlayStation 5 for the next generation? The choices are A, no concern. Exclusives, momentum of PlayStation 4 will continue into next generation. B, very concerned. Worst way to start a generation. C, PlayStation 3. Or C, I don't care. Phil Dominus is on to something.
But besides C, because obviously C is always a troll thing. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like A and B both can be right. Like I really do.
But the only real answer is C.
That is the question. Those are the choices. Please rock the ILP vote when it goes up on Twitter. Lord, BadBit Games and Ebontis. Salute for being in the realm dealing with my technical difficulties, but we got this show going. So let's start with Lord BadBit. Where can people find you? What do you have going on, sir?
So you can find me over at BadBit Games on YouTube, where we talk about all things. Is that in the
back by your TV? Is that
right over there?
That's right.
I know, how convenient. Yeah, we talk about all things games, reviews, top fives, news, all that jazz. Also, you can check out the Trophy Room on BadBit Games or podcast services around the world. So if you're into things like PlayStation, me and my best friend Kyle talk about PlayStation each and every Thursday. Again,
what time? What the people want to know? What time?
Oh, I put it out midnight on Wednesdays. So once you wake up, whatever time zone you're in, you got it there for you waiting. So again, Trophy Room. We talk about all things PlayStation games. So there you go.
Salute the ball back. Tremendous. Right. Thanks for coming on the realm, brother, man.
Thank you for having me, guys. It's been great.
Mad fun, man. Mad fun. I was on his brother's show. Tremendous content. Lord E, my brother, the last word, Vex Invasion. What's going on, bro? Good to have you back. What is popping in the world of Ebontis and Cheetah?
You guys can usually find me everywhere. It's Ebontis, Ebontis. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Nice thing about a goofy name, it's the only one out there. So if you find that cheetah, you'll likely have tripped over my channel, my Twitter, my YouTube, whatever it is. But mine's always going to be, guides for you guys, anything I can to be beneficial, and just kind of covering everything in the world of Destiny. And yeah, been streaming a lot more lately.
I've recommended your channel like 5 or 6 people at work. They'll be like, man, I just don't know how to do this. Like, look, if you got no friends, I got the perfect channel for you, okay?
And I thank you all for that. I appreciate the support. It's been awesome. Absolutely, it's been crazy. So yeah, you guys can find me, Ebontis. Find me anywhere, you'll find me.
No doubt, man. What about that podcast? Is there some Destiny podcast that goes on with...
I literally figured you were going to cover that, man. Yeah, okay, so there's this podcast I do with this co-host right here who's probably going to talk about it. We got the last word Friday mornings right now. Might be switching to Friday evenings if we get some guests on. But just stay tuned always to Twitter. Last Word Pod, Ebontis, LordCognito, sitting by the campfire, the Ninja and the Cheetah, holding out the Destiny podcast for you guys. So if you want your Destiny info, we will deep dive on for you guys every week, let you know what is up, our opinions, thoughts, and everything else. So there's my spiel. Now I'm out.
We're not going to do it. This is the last word. We're not going to do that. But now salute to my bro.
And this has been the last
word. Drop the mic. That's it. Shout out. Lord Addict up in the chat. What's going on, man? You was very fiery, very aggressive with Solve today. Very aggressive. Where can the 5 people find? Shout out to MJ waking up once again at the end of the show in the chat. Shout out to Lord MJ live with the college life. What's going on, man? But Lord Addict, man, where can the 5 people find you? What do you have going on, sir?
Oh, you can find me a couple places. You can find me eating this grilled cheese sandwich one. You can find me blocking Sovereign off all social medias. And you can find me on Twitter at Lord Addict ILP, but don't tweet Sovereign anything because I won't see it because I blocked him.
Oh my God! The relationship must be repaired. It was very continuous.
It's all jokes, guys. Me and Sovereign have no issues. It's all jokes.
Absolutely, man. Salute, Lord Sovereign, the extra feisty today. Like busting his gun at everybody. What's going on, sir?
We got a super chat.
Oh, we do.
We got a super chat.
Get it, sir.
Shout out to Stitch 6669 for the $2 super chat. Option D, let Sony burn. LOL. Hashtag Phil Sound.
Salute to the pettiness of Stitch. Salute.
Yeah, Stitch is all the way live with his pettiness. He really is.
He says Saul dropped the story of Addict Don. Wow.
Addict Don. Yo, he crazy.
Crazy, man. Yeah, he was a little contentious with Addict there today, sir.
Boss Move is on one right there.
No doubt. So where do five people find you, man? What's going on, Sal?
You can find me on Twitter, LordSoft ILP, and PSN and Xbox Live BX Sovereign. You can also find me teaching Addict how to debate. Thank you. In case you missed it, that's a mic drop and you hit it back.
Bang, bang.
Look, there is a reason I don't debate. I ain't denying.
Okay. Don DeMarco.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. Lord King, where could have find you? Was out. You was over, man. You had the Aurelius gear.
Yeah, he had the laurels on. He had the.
Listen. Let me tell you something. Right here, I have the toga. So when Aurelius takes his throne, the toga will come out.
Why? This is not going to be Spartacus, man.
Yo, and I had to put on the ice because it was looking really nice. Anyway, shout out to our great, wonderful guest. You know, Ebontis is 100% family. So. But BadBit, my man, I'm loving your setup in the background.
Thanks, man.
Hey, listen, when Cog told me this week that you was coming on, he's like, he a PlayStation guy. I said, do you think he really want to be on this week?
I gave him the disclosure.
Yeah, he told me he and listen, it's all jokes. I got a VR in the back of PlayStation VR. I got listen. We all play video games here, so it's all jokes in games. Going forward, we know what's going to happen. Listen, guys, we have Combat Talk that's up. We already know that, but we also know KOS is up. Go show Colossus that love. Go check them out. LordCognito works on the website of lordsofgaming.net. If y'all not a member,
like make sure to punch me in the face.
make sure that y'all go there to get all the new information on the stuff that we're doing and everything like that. Y'all can see these great statues. Also, I was at Comic-Con this week. I'm doing the videos now. Now I have probably like 30 videos that I'm trying to condense and trying to chop and screw and put that stuff out there so y'all can get that. So that will be up Monday. So you can have content there, and then the next statue that you're gonna get. But Comic-Con this year was a whole lot better than it was in the past year for me, because I got a chance to meet one of my idols in the statue community, and it's very warming, heartfelt warming when you meet somebody and they live up to your expectations. All right. So I want everybody that's content creators or somebody that's a visual person, always understand that you have a fan and always treat these people with the utmost respect, because this guy took time out of his day, talked with me, we chopped it up, and it made my day.
Salute, man.
I smiled from ear to ear, and it was a great experience. And just understand that you don't know if you affect people, but you do. Okay. And everyone, you'll Colt says, be kind. And after I walked away from Alex, I realized those words never meant more to me until that moment. Be kind. And that's Colt's words, and it's a real good thought, and trust me, it will go really far. You don't know who you touch at what point in time, but be nice and be kind, and that's Colt's words.
go. Shout out to famous Seamus. He said, I just noticed the Colossus in the background spinning. It looks
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had to throw him on a spin for y'all.
Looks amazing, man. Again, shout out to all about all Lords in the chat, man. You guys really make us. You give us that energy. It was tremendous. The guests tremendous. Shout out to King, obviously doing the Lord's work out there at Comic-Con, and shout out to everybody from lordsofgaming.net, man. Repping you guys, as much as I can, man, because you guys work hard for us. The article's tremendous. Shout out to Lord Old School Style. He's got some tech stuff up right now. How to get your overclock on. We got some great additions. Lord Gene, you know what I'm saying? Last week from Shenmue, we got, like I said, Josh Redding, Ancient of Frost, Addicts on Reviews. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's contributing. Gondor's Condor with an amazing article right now. He's got the Apex Legends, and that's also our resident Overwatch guy. You know what I'm saying? We got more content and more surprises for you guys. And again, you already know we got the 2 giveaways going up. So if you want your Death Stranding, if you want your Pokemon Shield or Pokemon Sun, because you ain't getting both, you get one. You got to choose. It's it. You know what I'm saying? Please sign up for that. It all helps us. And yeah, man, that's what I got. Shout out to Lord P, Lord Sonaldo. They've got, I believe, Roundtable with the Stream Team. That's L Boogie, Old School Style, MJ the Boss. Those are Mondays, I believe, 9 p.m. Please.
I do got an announcement though before you.
Please make your announcement, sir. Let's go.
Yo, BadBit. I went and I followed the wrong guy, so I put in BadBit Gaming, and I was like, "Man, this is I literally was doing it while we was talking, right? I'm like, "Man, this doesn't look like him."
Mr. BadBit.
I said, "So at the end, I'm gonna ask him," but I was like, "I don't really think this looks like him." And then he just hit me up right now. I was like, there you go,
Mr. BadBit. There we go.
Yes, sir.
Get it up. Oh,
yes.
Addict. You said you was gonna say something, and then we gotta roll.
If anyone in the chat wants smoking Pokemon, just hit me up.
What that smoke? You already heard it. Shout out to the Gamer by Choice at the very end. $10 super chat. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, brother.
Great show. Sinister. Great show. Thank you, brother. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. We're out.